Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love horoscope for this week of January the 11th through the 17th of 2021 here on highvibe.tv. Make sure that you check out highvibe.tv and subscribe to get all the daily exclusive horoscopes, deep astrology in its entirety, because I don't do deep astrology here on YouTube anymore, and so many other shows. We have so many other awesome talent. Of course, all my weekly sun sign horoscopes, weekly tarot, weekly intuitive, and so many other shows. Full disclosure, so much on there. And make sure that you get my 2021 Shattered Reality video. It is your 2021 horoscope video, 4 hours and 50 minutes long, helping you understand what's coming up this year and how to navigate. There is a way out through this Shattered Reality. Make sure that you grab it. It's on rental, or it's on sale right now on the paid video section of highvibe.tv. You can just go to the website, and then you can watch it on any of our apps and so forth by logging in. And Erika Othen is doing her school on High Vibe TV School starting tomorrow, Tuesday. The link will be down below. It is Beyond the Planet 2. This one's going to go into a lot of different subjects. Check it all out. It is pretty awesome, and that starts tomorrow on Tuesday, and it's every Tuesday for the next 8 weeks long. Do I have to spend 8 more weeks with you, Craig?
I think more than 8.
I was going to say, man, it's been a long time.
I heard a lot of great reviews, though, from her last class. So I got to pick up little tidbits here and there in the hallways and stuff. But Erika puts a lot of work into all that she does. So I'm sure that that second round is going to be badass. So make sure y'all check that out. But what's strange, for all the strangeness, I think that the relationships that we're putting together right now, have the potential to be lasting ones in our lives because of kind of like the traumatic events that we've been going through over this last year or plus, and especially continuing through. So I'm kind of excited to see where life is going to unfold and take us here in this 2021 little session that we got going on. A little wild times here in January 2021.
2021. It's really weird saying 2021. It just I remember as a kid, but we always had to date our papers, remember, at the top. And I always remember when it was a new year, I thought that was weird. I haven't felt saying 2021 like that since grade school.
2020.
It's just, it doesn't roll off the tongue really easy. 2021, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of
no.
I don't know. It feels very odd and weird. It is. I think that you're right about love, though, and relationships at this moment. But at the same time, I think, we get caught up in the world, I think, too much. And then we forget about our own environment. And then we can second guess our environment off the world, or we second guess the world. And then we go back to our environment. I feel like we're in a shuffleboard constantly. And that can be kind of detrimental, I think, in relationships. It can be detrimental in our own personal lives. And so I think that, when I go into this collective reading this week and I talk about the astrology real quick, I think it'll help people understand that for their love lives. But I just think overall it feels, timeless has been a word that has been used a lot for a long time now. And I did a live this weekend all about that uncertainty is actually the greatest moments in life. I think that the more we try to grip to certainty, especially right now, I think it leaves us in a worse place. So I think uncertainty actually is a good thing. And I think it makes life worth living, is that it's uncertain. And I think that the more uncertain it gets, we will find more certainty in life than is if we cling to certainty. Will be at the beck and call of the fear of uncertainty more and more.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a time. There's some moments in life where you're kind of or situations where you're like, oh, I can kind of just push this momentum through, carry it through. Right now, it's kind of well, we're in a river and we're just kind of getting pulled downstream, and it's kind of not in our control, and it's very apparent that is what's going on in this life. So enjoy the randomness. If you can, do what you can to be happy and find the joy and laughter in all of this nonsense that we are in together. But nonetheless, we are in it together. So there's hope.
There's always hope. And I think that, you know, there's so many stories that are circulating, and that also includes like in our personal life that we create in ourselves. And it becomes, you can just see it right now in the world, right? It's like everybody's got this big dramatic story going on. And how do you think that affects the story of your own life? It almost like it takes away from your own story of your own life. And I think the more that we keep feeding the outer story, the less we feed ourselves. So I think we need to really pay attention to in these times what kind of story do we want to live in our lives, and focus on our own story, and identify with our own story, because I think we can get lost with the identity of other stories right now, especially ones that are out in the world. And let's be real, I think about 99% of us probably will never meet any of the people that are the stories that are talked about right now in the world.
Yeah. I feel like we've kind of been preaching that for the last year, ever since this craziness kind of started, is like, what can you control? You know, your own immediate world, your reactions, the relationships that you have, the relationships that you're cultivating, you know, that's what's in your control. So focus on that daily, focus on yourself, focus on the people and the environment that are right around you, you know, and fix that first, and then worry about what else is going on.
And then we can get crazy. You all thought for a second, oh, it's so nice. Got this show and it's getting all deep and spiritual. These times are crazy enough, but I'm going to bring some fun and crazy. And I know that Greg is too. To get off to this show, if you never watched the show before, we're going to go into your love story. We do the collective first, and then after I do the astrology, I pull cards for the love, just in general for all of us.
Bunch of cards.
There's a bunch of cards, but I've got a new format. It goes quicker. But after that,
we will see.
We pull from the High Vibe.
So much gold on the cap.
And if we make it to the 1K collective, I do a reading where you get to, if you share all this enough to get it to 1K, we used to be 2,000 people. I don't know what happened, but.
Starts with a C and ends with a ship.
I also just want to say that Telegram, there's a High Vibe Leo King Telegram. It's public. You can join it. And I'm chatting on there all day, and that's where I'm posting all day. And that's where I'm having a blast. If you want to do more like the social media posting things, I'm not even posting that much on FB or IG. I'm just like, I just am like, it doesn't reach people. Like, forget all the stuff about the world. Just the algorithm sucks. It's just like, you know, but when you're on Telegram, everybody in there, instantly you see it and we're all talking to each other, and like instantly you're having a conversation with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, like, and everybody's feeling connected, and it's been a much more enjoyable place. Like, I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, that link is,
and
well, that link is, I'm trying to think where I could put that link. Maybe I can put that link in the chat right now. Which I'm going to do. I'll do that right now. But anyway, so then we're going to pick your sun signs from here. While I do that, do you have any interesting story real quick to get us into while I do that? And then we'll go right into the reading.
Interesting stories.
Any Sasquatch stories?
No, but apparently I did see, I went on a hike this weekend. I got out there into the world. It was the first time. It was probably the longest that I've walked in about a year. So that was nice to get out. A couple of Sasquatches out in the woods is what I was looking for. Just found a bunch of people, but that's okay, because that means that there's people out there moving. That means there's people out there living their lives just a little bit. So I hope that y'all can be doing that too. I know that not everyone is as blessed as we are here to be having the sun shining and all that. I know it's snowing and cold and rainy in some places, but you know, you just got to find that little bit of paradise, and you live there for some reason, so might as well get out there and enjoy it in that coldness. But still on that Sasquatch hunt. So if y'all know of any good stories or recommendations as to where to go track that beast down, I'm in for that. Someone did say that there is actually on a Sasquatch interview, though, fully with the real Sasquatch from Saskatchewan.
Really?
So yeah.
Actually, I have a question about your hike. Did you notice my very nice comments that I left you?
Yeah, I commented back.
Did you? I didn't. That's how much I'm not checking my IG, but I saw it. I made sure I was
Yeah,
like.
I may have pushed it a little too far. Well, then, because my buddy that I was with, who you know.
I pushed it too far?
No.
Oh, you did?
I did. Well, yesterday I went on a beach cruise bike ride, which I thought was going to be that, and it turned out to be, I thought the Back Bay was a lot flatter and shorter than it is. I hadn't ridden around it the whole entire thing.
I used to skateboard from Deerfield.
It ended up being
to
a
the
10-mile ride on my rickety ass beach cruiser going up and down hills. So I'm a bit sore today.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to tone it down just a bit.
Put it this way, I used to skateboard that, and my mom would be so mad. She'd buy me, the new shoes that are supposed to last like 5 to 6 months, and within a weekend, my Vans Caballerios were toast. I'd just be like, sorry, Mom, I skated there. I wanted to skate. And that's a long, I did like, it's like 10 miles, right? But
Yeah,
from Irvine, I think it
10-mile
was like
loop.
12. And I would do it back and forth. So it was like 22 miles or something. And I would have a blast.
Yeah.
I'd only fall a couple times, a couple rocks, just, okay, we're good. Let's
There's
keep
a
going.
lot of active people. Well, and then everyone's got the electric bikes, like my buddy that I was with. So they're just like mobbing.
all these wimps, get on a skateboard. Electric bikes.
They seem pretty fun.
I used to do it in my dyno VFR BMX bike.
I just did it on my rusty ass beach cruiser. So.
And then with my pegs, I would carry somebody.
quads are tight.
I carried a chick I was trying to date like in middle school because we never became boyfriend, girlfriend. And I just had her on my pegs, And I did the whole beach ride there. And I had to refill the tire twice because that's how much air would get let out. I was like, fuck.
Nice.
But, I was trying to prove to her, like I'm the kind of dude, I'll take my beach, or not my beach, I'll take my BMX bike and you ride on my pegs, girl, and I'll take you all the way to the beach and back. Like, we don't need cars. We're not old enough to drive. Didn't work.
That's some commitment right there.
That was commitment. I'll admit, I was committed. And I think on the way home, especially because she was like kind of prude, that I was just like, oh no, oh man.
You thought you were going to get a handy on the bike path?
Well, I thought I'd show her my Sasquatch. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just remember, you know how on a date, like, halfway through if it's going to be good or not. But imagine being young and on a bike and you're carrying some girl on your pegs.
And it's uphill both ways.
Well, I always took, where where Fletcher Jones is, and like, you don't go up Jamboree.
That's right. It's road. Well, you have to go up a little bit of Jamboree to get to the other side.
Correct. Yeah. But I would just take the bike path all the way through, and then go all the way around.
Yep.
And
it's a lovely day.
Yeah.
So we got to be prepared. I wasn't prepared for that shit. Not one bit.
Well, let's go into this collective reading. See what's cracking out there. Let's see if anybody's going to be riding on some BMX bike pegs down the
boosting
to the beach.
Boosting.
So this is a big week. I'm not going to lie. This is probably one of the craziest weeks because now we're in a new year. I can say of the year already right away of the year. This will be one of the craziest weeks of the year.
We're starting off early.
We started off early last year too, though. It's ironic that the anniversary 1 year ago this week of Saturn and Pluto conjunction is happening. Saturn and Pluto met at 22 degrees of Capricorn with the sun with Mercury. And this new moon is going to happen at 23 degrees. And so we had a leap year last year, so we had that extra day. So really, it's kind of interesting. That the date is correlating with this new moon on the 12th, depending on where you're at, or the 13th here in Capricorn with Pluto. And so the sun and Pluto are meeting again with a new moon, just without Saturn and without Mercury. But this one's pretty extreme because it's a new moon on Pluto is definitely changing the game. It's everything that's kind of at its end is ending. And everything that's at new beginnings is beginning. Or anything that is not of the truth is ending. And anything that is false is ending. So some people can get really lost, I think, in correlating what in your life right now is, well, that's supposed to end, so it's supposed to end. The Pluto's not that simple. Pluto's got a deeper reason for things. There's things in life when we think of life and death of like, well, how is that situation still alive and that one's not? It has to deal with truth. It has to deal with whether or not, especially in Capricorn, if it's what the destiny of it is. So there's an activation within all of us, and what parts are not working for our destiny and what parts are. Is destiny working for us, especially if it's love situations? Are you able to be honest and transparent and deep? Is it connected? And those are going to be big questions here. It's interesting as well this week because Jupiter and Mercury have met, but we're going to see Jupiter square Uranus this week. And this is a wild transit because of the fact that Jupiter's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, and it's happening right when Uranus comes direct. So this is going to be all planets forward from the 14th through the 29th into 30th. So that's about 2 weeks and a couple days of all the planets direct. We are used to seeing over the last couple of years all the planets direct for a little bit longer than that. But, we are going to see all the planets direct here for a couple of weeks. And that is going to feel hyperspeed. And the unpredictability around this week, because Mars is approaching Uranus while it's squaring Saturn. So you have to go. This is a very weird chess game where life right now is got the queen moving quick, but then no, you can't make that move with this. But then at the same time, you got to look at the other corner because there's a piece coming in another direction. And I think that when it comes to love, the unpredictability and the uncertainty is all over the place right now. And if you try to grip to certainty, you're definitely going to feel the wrath of this Uranus slap in the face with the electricity turning on in Taurus with Mars there. And the squares to Saturn and the squares to Jupiter are very weird. These are the two biggest energies, and Mars and Uranus are at their worst home. Mars does not like to be in Taurus. Uranus does not like to be in Taurus. It's too fixed there. And it's fixed earth against fixed air. And there's a lot of energy that is sparking, especially as this new moon is closing the last new moon cycle, which this last luminary cycle was a solar eclipse. And so this is a lot of the eclipse energy coming to its end, and it's been a wild month, right? And this is us moving into, facing our deep fears in all aspects of our life, while at the same time realizing the uncertainty is not something to fear, but to grasp and to realize that can bring our regeneration back into ourself, into our life, and that there's a hand of the universe that is got its domain, I guess you could say. And I don't even like to use a word like control or domain or anything like that, but I would say that there's a natural thing that's happening, that we're part of that natural story from the divine that is shifting things, and the uncertainties there. It's like there's a curtain call, and if you think that it's going to be the band that you wanted to see, it'll be a different band. And it's going to be better than the band you thought that you were going to see. But going through the process of being like, what? I remember when I went and saw Daft Punk for the second time in 2007, which I'm lucky I got to see him twice. And I remember, I think it was Rat Tat Tat opened, and they were kind of a big deal. And then I got to see like a couple of the French DJs that were under Busy P at the time. Anyway, it was pretty cool to be able to see them. I got to see I got to see a bunch of cool fucking people. But it was like, okay, I'm going to see a bunch of the French plugs, play, and they were so awesome to open it up with. And I remember at first I was kind of like, I don't know, I just want to see Daft Punk, but it was like it made the whole night special. So I feel like there's times in our life, or even when I went to Coachella back in the day, it'd be like somebody'd be like, come into this tent or come over to that stage and watch this like indie group. And you're kind of like, I don't know, whatever. And then like some of those songs, they're not even streamed on Spotify or anything, and they're the best songs I ever found in my life. So, that's the thing about right now is I think the more open we are, Jupiter and Aquarius, to the experimentation of things and love, and that it can go anywhere in any direction, while Uranus and Taurus is saying that it's trying to help you understand that there's a different route to find better courses and better things in our life. And with Mars squaring Saturn, there's a stop to make sure that we understand, what are we doing? Are we really going to go through with things? That's always a Mars square Saturn. But Mars here is having a tough time because it's already had to square Saturn multiple times while it was in Aries, and one of those times was when it was retrograde. Now it's doing it for its last time here in this cycle, and it's now in a sign it doesn't like. It's not in its home sign of Aries. We see Venus in Capricorn. It's not really doing too much this week. And so that can be, you know, kind of taking this whole relationship thing into more serious waters, and also, you know, productive waters. It could be good, but it's definitely character building and understanding the character of the kind of partnership that you want to have. It's a little sobering, I'll be honest with you. The energy of excitement does come from these squares to a lot of the Aquarius energy and Taurus, but I would say that looking at Mercury coming into shadow by Thursday in Aquarius, you know, we are all going into, you know, really weird experimental energy, and we have to be going into that. If you're afraid of that, then, you know, it's going to be rough. A lot of the energy right now is saying, like, you know, there is a path for you, and anything that does not feel correct on that path, that's okay. And if you're uncertain what's next, then that means you're in the right path. Opposed to being like, I'm certain this is it. Because if you feel certain about something right now, then you'd be crazy. Because this is uncertain times, and these are uncertain times with love especially. And to approach it with too much certainty can drop you down. Whereas I think the gift can be coming from having the uncertainty and approaching things with a wider angle of understanding, a better way to realize, like, without experimenting, you won't know what the benefits are. And I think as well, you know, seeing Mars on its approach to Uranus as it comes direct, we're about to see just so many changes so fast and so out there and so random that the shock factor is extreme. And I think that can be a good thing. But I think if we are not prepared in understanding that things are going to turn fast and unpredictable, if you're not prepared for that, when it does come to that, then it can be detrimental. So let's see what's going on with this week. First card that we got here for the collective and love. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got the 8 of Wands reversed. So the Arrows of Love reversed. Our challenge card is the Page of Pentacles. Ooh. Our overall is the Knight of Swords. Wow. And the way that we're going to make it through that challenge this week is going to be water. So the Arrows of Love are going in an opposite direction, right? They're not going in the forward direction that we like to go in, but it almost is like saying, like, whoa, like, maybe we got to look back at prior situations. Maybe we got to look back and learn from, you know, where are we at with our heart space? Where are we at in the space that makes us feel like we want to move forward? And we got to get sure about that for some reason. We're going to find out to get deeper on that when we actually, like, identify why. Our challenge with that Page of Pentacles is, yeah, I think there's that beautiful force that wants to go create something, but it's unsure of what to create, what it looks like. And I think that's what it is. That Knight of Swords, though, overall, is things are going to happen really fast. One thing I do like about the Knight of Swords is things happen fast. So if you're somebody who is definitely somebody who likes to take time, or, you know, especially when it comes to love and so forth, you like things to kind of go in the more slow percolating energy. This is where, when the opportunity arises and finally you get the moment, you seize on it. You take, you know, it's the card that saves the day, right? It's the person who comes in to save the day. Like, it feels like you have to come in, or sometimes you might be having to fix something really fast, or it might get really dramatic. Water is the way we get through it. You know what? The more emotional and wet it gets emotionally, the better. In all aspects of a relationship, you know, I think that, you know, trying to stay too dry and not emotional, and you can't build anything without You know, if you're going to build like a little wood or a little mud hut, you need the water with the dirt. I feel like there's a lot here saying that, you know, it's not just about what is it being created right now in love and what is that you appreciate about somebody or what is it that you want to have. Where's the emotion at? If the emotion's really not there, then why go build something with it? The reason why that we did get that 8 of Wands is we got the 2 of Pentacles. Oh, so we're juggling where we're taking our life in a way because of that 2 of Pentacles. Like, it's like, you know, and look at how it's on a leash here. It's like, oh, it's almost like playing around with where our hearts are going. So there's a lot of energy, or we could feel like we're getting played, but we have to realize that we're kind of playing games in ourselves too. And that 9 of Swords comes up with the High Priestess. So yeah, I think that, you know, Spirit's going to just give us a call of what feels like just radically jumping into and what doesn't. I mean, I think that that's going to be a big kind of major aspect to this week. Our overall cards that we did get, I don't know why they didn't give me my, they didn't pull them out. They did not pull them out. Because I did want to see what the Black Moon astrology cards have to say. I feel like, you know what, this might sound crazy, but crazy love. I like crazy love. It almost feels like, and I've been saying this movie, and it's been coming up a lot lately. But true romance. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's weird situations. It's weird energy. It's weird people that come together in a wild way, and it's a weird story, but it all ends up okay, even though it looks crazy. I feel like this is definitely not your just, you know, average week. Even if you are in a partnership, there's weird shit going on. Wow, we got the 5th house. So it's definitely a big love week. I mean, but it's going to be crazy love, and it's going to be, you know, some people retracting and some people, well, I think a lot of us are kind of going deep inside and going, what the fuck? And where's the thing? And, you know, there's a lot of juggling, and then out of nowhere, just like, okay, here's a sign, bam. And then boom. So I feel like there's a lot of kind of tension that then just becomes the reaction of the tension that's very extreme. When it comes to your personal, what are we calling it? Sexy time life? We got the 4 of Swords in reversed, which means, wow, that's kind of crazy. We are not feeling that we have to be in a super comfortable place. I think that, you know, the comfortable place is just love itself. I feel like we're kind of restless though when we're not understanding where the love is. So it's like people are restless and needing that sexy time. And that's right, we're doing Astro Dice. I'm really bad when it's not pulled out. I'm like, oh no, where is it? There's too many cards, there's too many things. So I'm sorry, everybody. Wow, Mars and Pisces in the 2nd house. I mean, that's us really kind of trying to flow and navigate and direct ourselves in a really weird place, but it's trying to find the good stuff. So lots of, you know, whether it's twists and turns to subconscious energy, to testing our gut, and it's our gut going towards the goodness and our fantasies coming to light of what goodness is and having to know when that action takes place. But we must take action. This is not a week to kind of not do anything either.
So don't not do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think for people who are just think everything's fine and certain the way it is. That's all I got. I'm just gonna laugh like that.
Yeah, because, you know, I think with that we can't necessarily limit the depths of our emotions too. Kind of with that, you know, I spoke on it in a bit, is that we kind of feel like we're maybe forcing or not able to kind of have control, because right now in this universe it kind of feels like we're just being pushed and pulled along. And so it's almost embracing that, and it's not doing the work, you know, but you're able to kind of let it flow while you put in that work, while you put that energetic force behind you, and it's going to carry you further. You know, while you're not necessarily fighting the current, but you're actually going with it, you're kicking with it, you're observing the beauty as you're going around. and you're taking it all in. So it's kind of like you're in the passenger seat, so to speak, but you're there, you're giving the momentum, you're giving, you're staying up all night. You're that good, you're that good co-pilot in life right now. And so it's taking that all in and applying, okay, and keep pushing forward always. But it's about enjoying yourself, enjoying the ride, and letting that beauty come in fully. Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. I'm just moving cards and getting a drink. I think that you're right. I think that moving into situations takes. I mean, I don't. You know what? I think that there's a thrill to life that's coming back, and I think that we've all been scared to the thrill of life in many ways.
Right.
And it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't have to just be something that we're overthinking, so to speak. It could be really just kind of enjoying the moments for what they are. I think that's what's needed, just a bit, just that pure bliss.
Yeah, expectations, especially in love right now, just creates drama.
Right.
We got first signs Aries, so
voila.
They've been. It's been weird. It's been, I think, a couple weeks in a row, or 2 out of 3 or something. But they definitely want to keep hearing the message, whatever it is going to be here. So I'll give it to you, Aries. All right. First card that you got, Aries, is you got the King of Cups in reversed here as your first card. We good? Oh, sorry. I was going faster. I should have waited on you. I'm sorry. Yeah, King of Cups first here. And your challenge is you did get the 5 of Pentacles as your challenge. Ugh, that's not a good card.
We're struggling like we haven't done this in a while.
Ace of Swords reversed as your overall. And the way you get through that challenge here is the Empress reversed. Wow. Okay. So we got a King of Cups reversed. So you're not feeling emotionally in the best space. I mean, or you're not feeling like you have control of your emotions. Watch the control. Or you might be dealing with a partner that's kind of out of emotionally control. But I would say that there's something missing here. Like, I feel like you feel stupid. Maybe you've been, I'm picking up that there's a lot of Aries, especially ones that have been dating or after somebody. You feel stupid. You've been after somebody that you thought there was an emotion there, and you realize that there's nothing to crown that with. Or you just feel like maybe if you're in a partnership, you might feel like, you might feel stupid. Maybe you tried to overpower your emotions some sort of way and it didn't work out. But you definitely feel like you're in a weird place because there's a lot of wounds here. We got this 5 of Pentacles here as your challenge card. Not the best card. This is the card where, it's poverty, sickness, there's a lot of things here. So there's a lot of wounds that are going deep, especially emotionally with you. And your overall is the Ace of Swords in reverse. I mean, I think that you want a new energy and a new fresh start, but there's something blocking that. The way we get through this wound stuff is the Empress reversed. I think that you have to remember the abundance that you hold, and the abundance will come to you. But I think that there's an issue of, maybe choosing partners or choosing situations, or even in yourself, just not really owning the value of the beauty that you are. It feels almost like that you feel like there's just something off within you, or there's something off in how you pick situations, or subconscious issues in yourself, I would say, that are just really emotional driven. And that I know you want something exciting and fresh, but there's an issue with it that we're going to have to get to the bottom of here. I feel like it's, let's see. Ace, you got the Emperor. So, okay, it's time to take action for what you really want in your life. Maybe what you thought you wanted isn't what you wanted. It was like you thought you could turn something in. And right now, I think that you're realizing that, however, if you're in a partnership and you want your partner to be different or something, I feel like this is you knowing what you want, but going after it in the wrong emotional areas. And this new energy that you want to feel fresh and clean with, you pulled the 3 of Wands. You have to be willing to open the doors that really are going to work. I got a feeling like you're choosing the wrong way to go about relationships emotionally, communication-wise, And picking partners also for single out there, or just people. Maybe you've been feeling that because of the partnership you're in. Although I know some Aries that are in good relationships, just maybe the way you've been going about the emotions and how you want things to change has not been going well, and it's been drawing. You don't. When you lead with a problem or you lead with a wound, it really doesn't go that great. I think being positive and showing your empowerment and going after where you really want to go instead of stop emotionally going where you don't want to go anyways, just to fulfill some sort of hole. That's what's coming up. There's a lot of holes. You pulled healer. Yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to take place. I would say that, but you got to see that it comes from understanding the whole environment better, the eye of Horus here. And I think that, you need to pay attention to that. And I think that, it's okay. This is a good week. I just think that you're coming out of a lot of really weird energy, and to heal yourself and to back into empowering yourself. And you can be the healer within yourself, but also somebody that knows how to connect with you and help heal back. Maybe they already do, especially ones that you're in a partnership with or something, and maybe you haven't tested that side of it. Maybe instead of, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Your sexy time card that you got here is the 8 of Cups reversed. So yeah, you're maybe, okay, this 8 of Cups reversed is like, I don't know. It could be doing everything with having connections, sexy time with an ex, not being able to let go of emotions of an ex in sexy time, maybe even with somebody and you're thinking about an old person, but the emotions also at the same time, you might be emotionally disconnected, but you're wanting to kind of see it again. I'd caution Aries this week, trying to go back to especially like the toxic ex energy to fill your cup, or energies that came off a lot of things that had to deal with things that you knew you should have walked away from. Stay away from that. Anything also this week that feels like, I should be walking away from this. This does not feel good. Don't go there. So I think that your sexy time is more about paying attention to not putting yourself into a deeper hole. And not, you got the Jupiter in Taurus in the second house. Yeah, only the best will work for you. That's it. So I got a feeling like don't succumb yourself to, I hate to say it, but piss poor, petty, kind of knowing not your best energy.
Yeah, we're all going to go through those ups and downs. I'd say a lot of us out there, healing is a day-to-day basis, a week by week, and it's about, I think, being honest with ourselves first, being honest with our partner, if we are in a relationship, or, if you're just kind of talking to someone, whatever stage of that relationship you're in, there has to be some sort of clarity when it comes to it, because there can be an easy turn-off switch. When an individual feels like you're not being open with them or be honest, or kind of shutting them out, it's going to be, it's going to be that turning point potentially, is where they say, okay, they're not giving this, and so I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit, when in all reality, it's just if you would have clarified what's going on in your life, and maybe that there's certain trigger points in this relationship that they're hitting and bringing up from your past, that's going to be cool, because we're all going through trauma, not specifically at the same time, but we're all going to face it in our life, so there is going to be able to have those moments of relating, and that can actually bring you closer in the long run, but you kind of just have to put it out there. You don't have to go full wild though in the very beginning, but work through together.
It's kind of like if you saw it reminds me of the movie People Under the Stairs with the fucking kid he's called the Fool from the tarot, ironically enough. And he knows the house is creepy. It's dark. And he is curious enough to go walk into that house, and there's that fucking weird couple keeps all those weird like people under the stairs in the hall and the walls and shit. Mm-hmm. And they're like keeping them all locked up. Like, he knew, he's the fool. He was curious. Like, don't be curious to go keep walking into that haunted fucking house with the people under the stairs, Aries. That's your issue. Or you're doing that to yourself, right? Like, you shouldn't go down that road in your partnership to do this thing, to bring things up, but you do it anyway. And it's like, fuck, that's the issue.
That be it right there.
That'd be it right there. You knew you shouldn't go down those dark roads, but, for some reason you did. Aquarius. Or those dark people. And then Aries is two-side story. It's, okay, I'm going for dark people, and I'm over that, and I got to stop doing that, or I have really great people, and then I go dark on them. It's like, what the fuck? All right, let's see what's going on for the Aquarians out there. Your first card for this week in this new moon in your 12th house. Ooh. You pulled the 10 of Pentacles. Man, this card's been coming up a lot, so it's going to be interesting with that. Your challenge is the 2 of Cups. Uh-oh, the soulmate card in challenge. And you got the 10 of Swords in reverse as your outcome. It's your overall. The way you get through this challenge this week is the Knight of Wands in reversed. It's one thing to build great things and have a home and a family, or have just a place where you find solace in and the great things. Although there's a constitutional crisis with it when it comes to the soulmate energy, and especially with you making sure that you don't keep staying in the same loop and patterns. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the way to get through with this Knight of Wands reversed is stop leaping into the situation that feels like a pattern that you don't want to go down anymore. Like, I feel like you're continuing to want a different result, but doing the same thing. Or you're avoiding leaping in because you think that a pattern will keep going, but maybe you just need to switch the way that you're approaching it. You know something is really good there, but I don't know if you know how to. You keep doing the same thing, but you're in a crisis about a soulmate situation here. Like, is this really the person? I know it is, but I don't know. Should I move about it? Should I tell this person I like them? Should I reach out to them? There's a lot of questions with that stuff. You pulled the 6 of Swords here when it comes to this 10 of Pentacles. Either A, you know that this great situation is supposed to go, but it has to move to a completely new one. Look at, there's a bomb going off. Like, okay, get out, and go to a different area to enjoy it. Or it's saying that this whole entire idea of this whole entire foundation that you have about this soulmate situation is just you needing to leave and move to another direction that's better. The Lovers popped up with this 10 of Swords in reversed. So I think that love for you is one where it's like, it's only going to work if you can get over this kind of like continual pattern that never ends. And so it's only going to be true love and like energy worth fighting for emotionally for love if it doesn't have the same patterns that continue to keep happening. Toxic patterns, things that just keep you putting in the wrong energy in the wrong space. So I don't think that this is bad necessarily the way that I see it. I just think that this is you realizing that that there's a big soulmate situation going on, but there's definitely a lot of questions. And I think that a lot of that is like, how do you change the outcome of how it keeps coming about? Well, it's about approaching it completely differently. Also, maybe the idea of what the foundation of it is, moving it and understanding where it's going, and making sure that you're not doing the same approach, or, really going for the love that you really want that doesn't have patterns, or maybe, you have to look at maybe the love doesn't go the way you want to because of the patterns that you're holding within yourself or the patterns of your partner. Although it's a reverse, so it's your own internal ones here. I would say that, you are causing the love to not be the disco dance party that you want. You did pull the Moon card, so it is very heavily emotional and subconscious emotions, and this could also be like projecting emotions onto others, and so forth. It's very sensitive too. This is a very sensitive card, the Moon Soul card. I mean, this is really looking deep at your own emotional issues and soul situations and foundational and family issues and so forth that are kind of reaching out into and even your habitual patterns and so forth. And when it comes to your sexy time, you pulled the 5 of Cups in reverse. So I think that, sexy time for you might be getting yourself out of sorrow, or a way to heal your pains and sorrow. I think that that's a good thing. Five of Cups definitely is a sorrow card, but at least we got it reversed here. Although, it's still connected to sorrow. So, you might be afraid, even though it might make you feel better at the time, then it might go back to sorrow again. So be careful of that. But at the same time, be prepared in knowing that if you're going down that road. You did pull the 6th house North Node in Cancer. Yeah, I got a feeling you pulled the Moon card. There's a lot here, especially with the 2 of Cups and the Lovers card. I think that, it's time for you to figure out the specifics of what you need emotionally and how you want that to look. And if it's looking that way, then it's going to be comfortable and good. If it's not looking that way, you need to make adjustments, or you need to be more critical and make changes. And that 6 of Swords popped up too, saying like, this needs to move to a new direction. You need to move to another side, or you need to move on. too.
Yeah, we have to continue to elevate. You know, it's strange, even though we know that situations or people are like these tendencies that they have are not healthy for us. In the long run, we kind of revert back to them just because we know it, because we've already lived it and experienced it. It doesn't matter if it's detrimental to us. It's still that comfort zone for some reason. It's strange. But this is time to kind of break that, you know, and actually be real with yourself and be real with your past and what it is that you work through and what it is that you want to achieve. Because there's no way that you're going to achieve that greatness that you're looking at if you're still kind of wallowing, if you're still kind of bringing in those unhealthy tendencies, those unhealthy lifestyles or people or whatever it is forward into the relationships, the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your lovers. So it comes down to being real, you know, and what it is. Are you going to unload that shit in the past and leave it there? That's going to be the most beneficial to you.
Yeah, because whatever is going to be beneficial to you is going to be beneficial. It's not going to be a repetitive pattern that continually makes you feel like you're beating your head like in a cartoon, like against the wall. And that's not too beneficial. It doesn't feel good either.
No.
And I know being an Aquarius, you like to be a little kinky and different, but I don't know if you want to just keep like beating your head against the wall. Or Aquarians are really weird. There's the detachment thing that goes on for a long time. And so what are you doing? Is it beneficial for you to be detached or to continue to play the game and figure it out? Maybe this is you getting over your patterns of always detaching yourself, blaming it on many different things. Maybe the other person, maybe yourself, whatever you want to blame it on. But it's always an excuse to kind of stay out of the game and or try to keep things on ice. I think that you got to stay away from keeping things on ice. That's part of the problem.
Progression. Forward movement.
Forward.
Keep going.
You got to be careful with your words nowadays. Can't say, you know, just keep things going in life.
Progress yourself in a positive manner.
In a positive manner.
Yes.
No violence either.
No, none.
0. Taurus.
Don't even confront yourself too hard either. Be easy on yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Taurus?
I guess you can't say fight for love either now.
Definitely do not fight for love. No fighting.
The context though.
No fighting.
Right? Like
just lay down for love. Maybe bend over.
All right, moo-moos. What's going on with the moo-moos out there? Big week for the Taurans. They get Uranus turning direct in their own sign. Woo! Actually, out of nowhere, when you just said bend over, this would be like a cow bent over and like, what the heck's coming up there? Or they're being milked. Maybe you've had little cones blocking the milking happening.
Milk cones, you say?
I don't know. I don't really. I'm kind of like. Did you ever see that movie with what's his name, Pauly Shore, son-in-law?
Yes.
When he goes out and he has to go milk cows and he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, it's one of the only DVDs you have. Remember in the trailer?
Yeah, that is true. I do think that is a great movie. But so I feel like I don't know, when it comes to milking cows, I don't know shit. So I feel like it would be like a cow that hasn't been milked in a long time. And out of nowhere, like, what is it? I'm being milked? Wow. Like, you know, it's wrong. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what's shocking to a cow. That's not like the shockingness of like, come here, cow, walk into this corner to this little thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they do it. All the vegans out there are like, do you see why I'm vegan?
Just those free happy cows running the hillsides, making mozzarella cheese.
I don't drink milk unless it's a milkshake.
I don't drink milk either, but I will eat some fresh mozzarella.
They got the World card reversed as their first card. They got their challenge as the Knight of Cups in reverse. They got their overall card here as the Four of Cups in reverse. Ooh. Your way you get through that challenge is going to be the Moon reversed. A lot of reversals here, Taurus. Well, maybe the shocking thing is that I think that I'm going to be honest. I think Taurus are wanting love very extremely. Having all these cards are very, very, very deep, emotional, and exciting cards. All reversed, though, inside. It's like you're waiting for something to completely, radically change, which would definitely be Uranus coming direct this week. This World card definitely is saying that you're at the precipice of a big change, but it's like, what's holding you back? Why do you keep saying the same world and the same reality? That needs to change. You pulled the Knight of Cups. You're stopped and stuck, and you need to move forward. There's a door that you need to open in your life and keep moving forward in life emotionally. You just can't keep stuck in the same emotions or in the past. And the Four of Cups reverse definitely is a weird one. I mean, as you can see in this deck, I love this deck because, she's had a good night, but, it's reversed. It's like, I think your overall is like no, see the gifts that are there. Maybe you haven't been even like seeing that you've been having the ultimate gifts that have been brought into you, but you've been denying them emotionally. And this Moon card reversed is saying that you gotta realize that you're stuck in your own emotional subconscious issues that you keep suppressing. So you're suppressing the emotional world you want. You're suppressing the emotional happiness you want in love altogether, whether you're in a relationship or not. And it's causing a lot of detrimental energy that's not really working out the best way for you. And I think that, in order to move forward in life, you just got to let it all out and let out all the emotional fears and let out even all the weird shit. Maybe you're afraid to expose some of your real feelings in life. They might be crazy. They might be exciting, but whatever they are, don't worry so much about what other people think too. The World reverse card can worry too much about what other people think. You did pull the Devil reverse with the World card reverse. Yeah, I think that you're afraid of making people think that you are, I don't know, bad to think the way that you are, or maybe you're too afraid to show your kinky side, or maybe you try to show how much that you're wanting somebody. It's like you don't want to come off as desperate or obsessed, or you're dealing with somebody who's like that, and you feel that way, or that's just like a subliminal block because you're too afraid to go through something emotionally. You pulled the Four of Wands in reversed with the Four of Cups reversed. You're missing out on the ultimate celebration and blessing. You know what it is too. That's the interesting thing. I'll pull another card for that Devil card. Three of Wands. Yeah, I feel like, you know what? I don't think that you're dealing with a bad situation here. I think you're dealing with an extremely good situation. I think that you have an amazing opportunity here. And I think that you need to see it. I think that you're missing out in seeing an amazing opportunity, and you're not acting on it. And I think that you're expecting the other person to act more than yourself. And I think that that's the issue, is I think that you are stuck in your own stuff, and you have to work through that. And I think that you have to do something about it. Your overall cards that you got here, let's see, what did you pull? You pulled Jupiter return benefits. See, I mean, I know. You have to realize you have an amazing situation. You just have to do something about it. I got a feeling you're not doing anything about it. I think that you're succumbed to your own kind of demise here. And when it comes to your sexy time reading, and I know people, I already knew in my head, people watching live are like, this motherfucker better be shuffling those fucking sexy time cards fucking more. I see just reversals, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, like, I'm fucking shuffling, fucking for you all, and I'm fucking turning them, you know what I mean? Like, shit. Let's see what they got. Pulled the Nine of Pentacles. Well, self-love works. Self-love, self-sexy time is a good thing, because if you know how to do that, then you know how to go farther in other places. It might be a week where that's where you reconnect, or also the Nine of Pentacles is a card that knows your beauty and your greatness that you can attract. So it's almost like you want to feel loved for the beauty that you are. And you know what? If you don't feel that, then that's definitely not the opening situation. But if somebody appreciates that and they love that and they admire that in you, and that'll make you feel good. You pulled, man, this second house keeps popping up. So there's a lot of self-worth issues for everybody so far this week going on. Pluto and Virgo in the second. I mean, I think a lot of this is, that the things that you've been holding on to need to change. And especially when it came to everything bringing about, like, you're missing out on the world, you're missing out on a great situation. I feel that you've been too critical. You've been, almost just too narrow-minded, I would say, especially when it comes to the specific way that your life works and how to create what you want. I think that you're trying to go to Home Depot and build something from scratch. You're trying to build like a whole house and a whole car from scratch. And I think that that's your issue, is I think that you already have all the pieces together, and I think that you just need to accept it the way it is and add the nice trimmings to it, opposed to trying to get too intense on it. And it's like you're looking at way too many things instead of focusing on the good stuff that's right there. I think that you're missing a lot that you could have.
Yeah, and maybe about a bit of self-admiration as well. Sometimes when we're too close to a situation or too close to a person, whatever it may be, we can't actually see the whole picture as to what's going on. We can't see, whether there's beauty all around us or chaos or whatever it is, because we're honed in on one specific piece. And I think that it's time that you kind of step back and maybe look around just a bit and actually do appreciate that beauty that's around you. Do appreciate the individuals that are surrounding themselves with you, and do appreciate the life that you're living, the life that you're capable of having. But it comes from that appreciation. It comes from that self-worth as well, and knowing your boundaries and knowing what you have and knowing that love that you have for yourself. I think it's very important. And yes, exploring oneself is quite a beautiful trek as well. So maybe delve into that just a bit. Delve into that sexy exploration.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because sometimes exploring the self in other ways too much can miss out in other ways. I almost feel like that's what I'm getting from you. It's almost like overly, it's almost like, how some people in spiritual community just take it so serious. It's like you can't even have a normal conversation with them about life. It's like that's all they talk about. But I feel like Taurus might be just like so hyper focused on something specific about relationships, and they just don't let it go, that they're missing out the expression of maybe the experience that you just talked about with sexy time, like, and be appreciated or whatever. It's like there's something that needs to be dropped, because it's almost like I'm just gonna be honest, like, and Craig knows, we'll go on. Craig knows more probably than me, because we'll be on tour and then people come up to Craig like, so I got Mars square Pluto and Pluto conjunct Saturn, and I have a solar arc fucking transit of the sun opposing my Neptune, fucking blah, 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 and he'll be like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And and that's fine. It's cool. We love all that stuff when we're on tour and all that shit. But I feel like, sometimes, it's like, it can be kind of when you're in those conversations with people where it's like,
it doesn't. I don't think every moment has to just be this like profound depthness.
Exactly.
There's like there's also the beauty in just like the surface shit. Just like, oh, that's a beautiful bird right there, and the sky's nice and blue right now. It doesn't have to be this changing in the way that the bird is flying and the wind and this, which is great too, though. That's great as well, but it doesn't always have to be that.
Oh my gosh, did you see? But the best would be in the middle of that, and then the bird takes a shit.
Hey, well, that's good luck. It's a gift from God.
That's happened to me before.
I know.
With a girl in the car.
Yeah.
In a convertible.
Yeah.
Both of our heads. Fucking weird. That didn't work out, though.
Well, was it more than one shit? Did each shit cancel?
It was a flock of fucking seagulls.
We'd have to count that and see the good versus the bad.
It was a flock of seagulls. It landed on my head. It landed in the car. Remember, I was cleaning the whole fucking Corvette out. I was like, fuck. Went all over my head. It was very weird. Very weird moment. It was with an Aries. It was very weird.
Someone's asking who's got time for surface shit. I mean, I think that we all need to make time for it, because that's where we actually are able to process the depth. It's running in the background. It's like a computer. You run some other programs while shit's downloading and doing it all in the background. If you're just bringing in depth and depth and depth and depth and depth, you might actually not be able to process it fully. Or
you end up with a panic disorder, an anxiety disorder, or a hermit life.
Yeah, you got to just chill for a minute.
I mean, you know me. I mean, and this channel is all about depth. Like, that's what we go into. But I think what makes depth beautiful, and it's the yin and yang in life. You got to be balanced. I mean, I think meme culture's been great. I laughed so hard in 2020 over the memes. They got so good, especially the video meme stuff. it was just amazing. And it might be surface, but it's got a depth to it, but it's got laughter. Or just, you know, when you hang out with somebody and you're just laughing about something stupid. Those are the things in life that actually are deeper than some of the things when you're in like some meditative circle and calling up the spirits, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that stuff's not fucking important. It's just like,
It's very important.
It's like
all important.
It's like it's got to be a good balance. Like, I think that people always loved us on tour the most, even though the talks and all that would be 5 hours long and they'd be deep. But then that's why we always did spiritual dance music, to kind of go, all right, it's time to have a good time and enjoy it for what we just went deep with. And I think that life has to be enjoyed too. And you can enjoy the deep moments, but you can enjoy the moments of just being. I think that it's not surface as much as it is just being.
Yeah, simple pleasures.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's great too, especially if you're like, you know, in sexy time. Like, it's great to have that deep, oh man, yeah. But then some of it's sexy. Like, I really am just enjoying the way that you're fucking.
The way that you taste.
The way that you're this and that. Looks and tastes and smells, and that's the way it is. Pisces. That's all I'm gonna say, you know?
It's nice.
It's very nice.
What is it? What did you pick?
Pisces.
Oh, Pisces.
I mean, that's why lingerie is out there for women, right? Like, you know, men like to look at lingerie, and that might not be as deep. Like, that's a surface thing. Girls like, I don't know what they're into, but I guess most women today are more sapiosexual, which works for me. But I don't know if it fully works, though, if that makes sense. Like, I think it works, but like, again, there is a surface part of this world. And that's what Uranus and Taurus is teaching us too, is that you can't keep, it's opposite of Scorpio. It's that you have to kind of reinvent the understanding. And I think that's where the spiritual community's number one issue is the triggers of whether it's money, or the triggers of whether it's the physical parts of life, or the food you eat, to, you know, it's like you can't do anything right in the spiritual community. Like, ooh, you have money, or ooh, you don't eat that right, or ooh, you don't do this, or ooh, it's like, oh my gosh, did you forget we're also in a reality too, to experience and have a great time in? So,
Rachel in the chat said you got some seagull conditioner.
Well, it was, it sucked. And, you know, I thought it was going to be easy to wipe off. Fuck no. And then it gets in the crevices of the leather, and it was not cool. And then I thought good luck was going to happen to me. No, not a good time in my life, actually. It was a bit, I guess, like, you know, whatever, it happened. That's life. All right, Pisces. Let's see what's going on with you. This new moon in the 11th house. We're sure you're around the right group of people. You sure about that one? Are you sure? Or do you avoid people? You pulled the King of Cups up, right? It's a great card to have. Start off with. Your challenge card here is the Two of Swords reversed. Okay. And your overall card here that you did get is the Temperance reversed. How are we going to get through that Two of Swords reverse? We're going to switch it up. Well, you pulled two cards, so you pulled the Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. Okay. So, I mean, this is a week where I think that you're going to have to really take power again and captain the ship of your emotions in the right direction, because the King of Cups is very sure of its direction emotionally. And it also is somebody who realizes at the end of the day, you know, it's not oversensitive. It's not hypersensitive. It's not overly emotional. It's not too little. It's like the perfect amount of energy. It's in control emotionally. But your challenge is this Two of Swords reversed. You feel like you're confused about a decision, probably either about two people, or which direction to go in your relationship life, or about a person. And with these overall as the Temperance reversed, I would say that overall it's like the situations that you realize that you're trying to force that are unnatural, or they just don't blend in or fit organically, are not going to work. The way you get through this is stop bringing this celebration of love to areas that are not really love, because the Four of Wands with the Eight of Wands reversed is, you know, I mean, honestly, this is a car on fire. So, I mean, you know, even the Four of Wands is the marriage card, but it's like, I think that Pisces are kind of in a space where they're realizing in this choice that they're making about where they're going with love. It's like you're celebrating something that might be going the opposite direction, and you got to take control of it in your life right now. And I think it's an unnatural situation, meaning that it just feels not organic with the universe, or they're not in alignment with that, and you're not. You pulled the first house as your overall card here. Oh, I gotta look at the other ones, but it's kind of interesting that I pulled up. You pulled the Knight of Wands here with the King of Cups, and you pulled the Two of Wands. So, stop jumping into these love situations that you don't have emotional control over, or they take away from your emotional control, or they're controlling you emotionally. And then you pulled the Two of Wands, that unnatural situations in a world that isn't turning the way that you want to be, but you're trying to use some sort of, you know, shot in the arm to fix the situation. Oh God. Think about the times we're in now. You think that's going to fix the situation? That's what you're doing. You pulled the first house. So you need to focus on, you know, what you really want in your life. I think that you're not going deep enough on your life. Maybe you have been, you know, kind of playing this, you know, oh, I want this, but from more the ego standpoint, instead of, is this what I really want to fully embody? I think that you're going to get a wake-up call about that. Or if you want to continue embodying this in your life. Your sexy time card is you got the King of Swords. So something really exciting and erratic is definitely where you want to go in that space. And I think that maybe that'll help you realize, you know, where to go in your life. I think that wherever you're going into it feels off. You pulled the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Wands reversed. You've got a Two of Wands reversed. You've got a Temperance reversed. You got a Two of Swords reversed. There's a lot of unsurety, and I think a lot of it is missing out on the excitement for the specific of what you want, instead of continuing to. And this is kind of difficult because it's almost like you've convinced yourself of something when you know it's not worth convincing. You pulled the ninth house with Neptune in there in Aquarius. Yeah, this is the whole love story thing going on. The Disney story that with Aquarius here is disconnected, or it's not connected, and you've got to get to the subconscious kind of energy to realize, to find where the real connection is of the story. Maybe it needs a change and it needs a reinvention. So I would feel that, you know, this is a Disney story gone rogue, gone rebel. Like you just didn't expect, you know, Minnie Mouse to divorce Mickey. You know what I mean? So, because at the end of the day, you thought it was Minnie, and it was not. It was, I don't know. It was. Well, I was gonna say it's Donald Duck's wife or something. You know?
Well, maybe they were at a key party, and then they found out that there was a hidden love for each other that they just didn't know. It was under the surface, and after that swinging event, it boiled up over, and then there's a whole new cartoon kingdom created after that.
And it was Corn Pop the whole time,
and he was a bad dude, and he ran with a bunch of bad cartoon pops.
And you know, or maybe you we're not going to go there. No, not going to go there. Virgos,
just got to be true to thyself.
You got to be true.
Got to be true to thyself, whatever it is, whatever it brings up. It's going to be you for the long run.
All right. Virgos, we're going to give you the golden tarot here. I got a feeling we're going to give you some of that gold. Because you got a new moon in your fifth house of love this week. So the sign that has the new moon for love with Pluto is Virgos.
Oh, new moon party tomorrow.
You know what's so scary? The only sign that would be scared of a new moon in their love house would be Virgo. It's like, I don't want things to change. I think it's already great, but it's like there's something that needs to change.
We got a couple new moon celebrations popping off.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Your first card that you picked is the Nine of Pentacles in reversed. Your challenge card is the Six of Coins, Six of Pentacles reversed. You got the Knight of Swords as your overall. Ooh, upright too. That's exciting. And your challenge that you got is the 10 of Wands reverse. Oh, that's pretty simple reading. You're not putting your best self first, what you really want. It's like you're taking second best. Or you're being thrown to the side and you keep accepting it, and you need to put yourself first again, but you got to do that in the right way. I got a feeling like that's because you keep taking second best or third best, or you're not putting yourself and your beauty first or showing your beauty. Your challenge is that 6 of Pentacles reversed. That's an unfair situation going on of exchange in a relationship, whether it's monetary, whether it's, people get in relationships and couples, and especially they turn it more into the marriage aspect, or they turn it more into the, well, because we're together and they have a job and I have a job, we do everything together, and he buys this and I buy that, and that's a challenge, because it's almost like, I think that's what you're focused on, is like, am I in a relationship, or am I choosing somebody because of the exchange going on and not like the actual love? That's why the Knight of Swords is coming up. Here's your overall, like, this has to be fixed fast. It could be very dramatic, though. It looks like a dramatic week that some things need to be fixed. There could be definitely some issues regarding the fear of money situations. When the 6, that's a poverty like alignment, So, and then also, you don't want to also go into, if you have a money issue, if you're single, try and go with somebody because they have money. You pulled that 10 of Wands to get through. You gotta just drop the weight of these things that you continue to hold within yourself of what love is, or that the love is this hard, long journey, and they need to fight for this long journey with you, and they need to show their, way. I think that for you, it's like, I think that you're carrying way too much weight. I think that you just need to learn to love again and just be in love. I just think that like you're making love too complicated when it's about attracting that beautiful bird that's not shitting all over you. He pulled the Queen of Swords in reversed here. So this feels stupid that you haven't really known the direction, because it hasn't brought you to that ultimate feeling of having that beautiful love story, because of the way that you think things should be. These are lists. These are things that the Queen of Swords is so sure about, the direction of how it's going to work. We're not sure. And I think that you need to realize the unsurety is okay. And I think that you're over analyzing, beautiful things. I mean, it's like looking at things like a museum piece before even seeing it or experiencing it. You pulled the Chariot with that Knight of Swords. That is 2 energies. Look at that. Like, both of them have, look at that, the bow and arrow and the sword, both going into situations intensely. I think that you have to lead with intensity. I think that you have to lead with that passion and that extreme energy here. I think that you have been playing things from an exchange standpoint. But this also means something needs to be fixed. The Chariot also is a card that needs to move on more into the divine, where you're being called towards, to go into, whether you got to go save the situation or you got to go. There's definitely something that's got to be fixed really fast and got to be looked at as whether or not overall this is the right direction for you to go in your life. But there is multiple new directions for you to go, so don't forget about that in your life. Your overall card that you got here, we'll go here. You got protection. This could mean a couple things. I'm going to pull one card with that protection card. 6 of Pentacles. Oh, you only feel safe because of money. I mean, this is the issue, Virgo, is that job, career, money is the only thing that continues to be your feeling about having a relationship for the protective element. What about love protecting it, or your connection to God protecting it together, or, just having that each other's backs through whatever, and not looking at each other based off like any kind of monetary or exchangeable value. You're not 2 AI robots exchanging like R2-D2 and fucking C-3PO fucking data. Like, that's the problem. When it comes to your sexy time, we pulled the 9 of Wands. I mean, this is definitely a card that has a lot of walls up emotionally and for love. And also, it's hard for people to get in. So even though, if let's say you enter into sexy time, I don't even know if you're going to be able to get to the end of the big kaboom that you want to feel, because you might be blocked. You have walls there, that or protective walls, like, unless I guess they're, going to give you a bunch of gifts in exchange or something, which would not be cool. Or when your money situation's feeling right, or whenever there's some weird shit here. Something needs to be fixed, and something also needs to be rushed in to fix things, especially with the weight and this weird thing about exchange and looking at what people are giving and taking from you and you giving and taking. But really, I think that, you only feel protected when you feel like you're kind of put in a role where here's all the stuff, but it's kind of like, seriously? Like, oh, I guess I'll take this. And then that doesn't make you that open sexually. You did pull the 12th house with Libra and Jupiter. So these are relationship stories and the subconscious issues that need to be understood. And you and your own belief systems about relationships that are holding you back that are needing to be addressed.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to make a checklist and kind of go through it when it comes to love and relationships. It's like, okay, well, they did this correctly, so I'm going to love them a little bit more, and maybe they messed up here, so I'm going to love them a little less. It doesn't necessarily work that way. In fact, it doesn't work that way at all. You kind of look at those murder mystery movies, and the ones that say they always had the best relationships and he was the perfect husband, she was the perfect wife, ends up murdering everybody and leaving them for another lover. So it's kind of like that reality check about life is what's going to save you. That's what's going to keep you grounded. That's what's actually going to keep you in that relationship fully. Instead of focusing on what it should be, what it is, are they checking off all these boxes? It's just appreciating them. It's just being happy with them. It's about saying, okay, am I happy in this moment? Do I see the longevity in it? Yes. Are there things I need to work on? Yes. Is there things that they need to work on? Yes. It's going to be a never-ending story. But as long as you're being present in the moment, as long as you are actually living with them, living with yourself, then it's going to flow. And you got to keep letting that flow. Don't turn off that faucet.
The never-ending story. The Virgo's love story never ends, never ends,
Never-ending story
ends.
2 was trash.
The never-ending love Virgo story. Writing lists every day of their partner. The never-ending story.
Sexy time checklist. Like, no.
Lots of blocks,
Did you go
lots of
take a
blocks,
shower,
lots
and
of
did you wash
blocks.
yourself first?
Nothing is ever perfect. Maybe you need to have a Treyu in your bum. Scorpio. Sweet. Or maybe Falcor can help you out, Virgo. Falcor. I've said it before, I cannot stand that. I love the movie, but I just the kid that reads the fucking story he's such a
The first kid?
Yes, I can't stand him. I can't stand the main characters. Falcor. It's like, I never, even as a kid, I thought he was a loser. I'm just gonna say it right now because of the way he just was. He
enjoyed his alone time.
Yeah, a little too much.
He's not a loser.
I mean, think about the kids right now because of this last 2020 and fucking how they're doing all these fucking Rona fucking restrictions and shit. You think they're all doing Never-Ending Story maybe the first week. What do you think they're on right now?
Falcor.
No, right now they have turned it into a fucking horror movie, Get Out. You know what I mean?
Falcor.
That's what I'm saying is people don't realize that's the imagination of a child and all that. When you keep them alone or you keep them locked up in the room all the time and did you hear about this weekend that there was a dad with his son throwing baseball and fucking the cops fucking came?
Yeah, I did.
That's fucking a problem.
It's
that's a problem because you're allowed to fucking go work out.
Yeah.
You can't throw a baseball in a baseball diamond?
It's frustrating times. That's why sometimes you got to say, fuck it, because it's a Scorpio party. Baby, we throwing balls in the park all day.
Softballs. Hey, your dad's a killer softball player.
Pops is fucking just throwing those balls from shortstop to first base like a champ.
Just, he's also hitting too.
He's dropping bombs out there. I taught him everything that he knows.
On your slide to second base, that went really well.
I was once a many-time champion on the softball field back in my second prime, in my early 20s, before I broke me hand. This love gem right here. See a little crooked pinky? My pinky?
Yeah, you try to pull a trout slide in a second.
I heard trout has huge calves.
I bet he does.
Huge calves. Let me tell you, these calves on trout, huge.
Well, you have to admit that trout knows how to slide in a second pretty fucking good.
As he should for 500 mil.
And you never see him slide feet first. He slides fucking head first every time.
I try to hook slide, which is way more advanced than I am capable of doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying is when you tried that, didn't go down too hot.
Didn't go down.
But it was stupid, right? Because you did the slide well. It wasn't the slide.
I did the slide well. I just did it about 5 feet too late. So my hand exploded into the side of the bag. I was safe, though. I was safe. And, healed up. Brand new hand. Look at me. Brand new. Am I brand new?
Okay. What Scorpio secrets do you have? We're going to find out right now. Scorpio's got, hey, guess who's got the big Mars Uranus stuff coming and the Jupiter square Uranus in your relationship house. Woo! Scorpios.
Oh,
the Hermit. Oh, the crotchety one this week. Woo! Oh, no.
We love the crotch.
Look at this. Are you just going to be at home watching fucking Party of Five? Or what was that show fucking on HBO with the girls? Fucking Sex in the City?
Sex in the City.
Look at you, Craig. Looks like a great Scorpio week. The challenge card you got is Queen of Swords. Damn. The outcome card is the Five of Wands. Ooh. And the way to get through that is the Three of Swords reversed, the Heartbreak card reversed. Well, I mean, I only called it crotchety card just because, the Hermit's like, I need to still figure this out in my love life. I need to take time for myself. But that could be contradicting because I'm going to skip the challenge. I'm going to go right to the outcome, which is the Five of Wands, which is competition and being involved. So, those are two contradicting energies. Like, I don't want to be involved. You got to take time to process things. But, oh, fuck, I have to be involved is the outcome. It's going to come at you. So imagine sitting and watching your favorite show, Sex in the City, bro, and,
so Miranda
and dealing with relationship situation that's like, you need to turn the fucking show off. Like, we need to deal with this. And you're like, no. And this is the challenge, is the Queen of Swords, is you're trying to figure things out specifically to know where they're going to go, but that's going to lead to heartbreak. So the challenge is don't put yourself through heartbreak of trying to understand, Scorpio out there, what exactly it's all going to look like. And also try and kind of be in this own space without realizing, like, you can have your moments for that, but you also have to still be involved, right? Like, you can't just you can't have it all your own way and it all in the one direction. I think that you can avoid heartbreak, though, by realizing that you're not going to be certain exactly where it's going to go. And it can be kind of cold anyways in a love relationship. It needs to look this way and it needs to feel this way. If anything, it should feel like the way that this Hermit card looks, at least, is like, yeah, the more chill energy. But, there's going to be conflict to get to that place, right? Like, you're going to have to make some sort of challenging decision or challenging moment here to get to where you want it to go. Or maybe you're reflecting because maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe you don't want to. We're going to find that out right now. You pulled the Two of Swords, so you're definitely hermiting Pentacles. So, I mean, this is awesome. The outcome is that you can build something great by just being willing to go through the baseball field, right? And throwing the ball and getting in the game. But not being in the game and undecided and waiting for a decision that you won't make anyways, that you think that you are going to understand by taking the time out, isn't going to work. So warming the pine ain't going to really work out this week, Scorpio. You have to get out there and play the game. Even if it doesn't work, at least you played the game, and at least you'll feel good because you'll be able to be like, okay, well, I know what I'm going for now, new situation or whatever. But if you don't play the game, then you don't get anything good. Queen of Pentacles is willing to offer you some really amazing solace and build something beautiful. And I'll go on a date with the Queen of Pentacles in this deck any day of the week. So, you know what? I'm going to be nice.
Oh, thanks.
Because Scorpios are going through Taurus transits. So, it's like you all think Scorpios are dark, but really when it comes to relationships is where they show the opposite of their darkness to Taurus.
We're just a loving ball
They
of
show
red
them. They
and
show the
pink
moo. They show the cow.
and purple.
So I'm giving you Ganesha.
Oh, the Ganesha, give me a good
Be
card.
candid. Oh, see. So I don't know about sitting down and watching Party of Five. I know that was Party of Five and Sex and the City were your favorite shows. I remember that growing up, bro.
And Buffy.
Buffy, yeah, that was. I think that you still put Party of Five first.
Party of Five was a very, very nice show.
But I think that the be candid energy is like get involved, like be candid about what things are, but don't kind of, Scorpios can kind of retreat to their little fucking scorpion fucking little cave here. That's not going to be the place to go. You're not going to make any decisions in there. You got to be candid. You got to show up. And look at this. Ganesha's showing up and bringing it into focus. And look at that. Like, he almost looks like he could be in Mortal Kombat and like push like like he could push like holographic like I don't even know like.
Ganesh is very vibrant.
Yeah, he'd beat everybody in Mortal Kombat because he'd be candy. He'd just show up and just like, I don't know, make his noise would be Ganesha, Ganesha, and just throw at you just like sacred geometry holograms. Ganesha, Ganesha.
Well, he's got his trunk to just smash on people. If
he
did choose to do so,
he could be
smash with
squirting.
love,
He'd be
that is.
squirting like holy water.
Just smashing with love.
Just holy
bang,
smash
bang, bang.
water. Holy fucking Sasquatch, fucking very rare to find. Very rare to find juice.
Though, if you lift
some
up
of
the right
that
rock.
some of that hung Sasquatch male juice that's squirting out with fucking holographic fucking sacred geometry and just going Ganesha, Ganesha.
Maybe that's the portal that we need to walk through. The holographic.
Well, I think the whole point is
Sasquatch
like
triangle of love.
get in the game. Don't put it on like watch mode or something. I don't know. Let's see what your sexy time says, because that says everything for Scorpio. They don't care about the love reading. They're just like, give me to the fucking sexy time. That's all I give a fuck about. That's all I care. Oh, let's see what's going on for Scorpios with
Give me
sexy
some
time.
sexy time.
You
Sexy
pulled the
time.
Seven of Pentacles reversed. Well, no pain, no gain. I mean, I think that, Seven of Pentacles is a card that definitely deals with work and putting the energy in. But if you don't put the energy in, you're not going to get it back. So if you're kind of showing up like, well, I got drunk last night, and like I just want to hang out. It's kind of like you're not putting no work in. I'm not giving you the good stuff. Like you got to be showing that you're willing to put in the work to get the return that you want sexually. You just can't. There's not going to be lackadaisical sex this week. It's going to have to show some effort, that there's more of the good stuff, because whatever the Seven of Pentacles is working on, it's for an investment, whether that's the fruit of, the land of the crops. So it's kind of like showing up and being like, yeah, I'm here to pick the crops, but I didn't water them and I didn't plant them. It's like, well, you're not getting anything then. Nice. Squirt that Ganesha trunk juice, Sasquatch rare,
Portal of love.
through the crisscross trees.
And the midget Sasquatch that roam freely.
Wait, what? I didn't hear about midget Sasquatch.
They might be just short Sasquatch or half pint Sasquatch.
Weren't they all in Wizard of Oz?
I think that those were their second cousins on their mother's uncle's side.
They didn't get hung.
I think that that's what happened. The Sasquatch in the forest they had the wrong form of lollipops, and then they were sucked through the portal as so we spoke, and then they landed in the first colored full-featured film. So.
Lollipops, so they ended up in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang instead.
Free lollipops.
Lollipops, kids. Fucking creep. Venus and Gemini in the 9th. The story can be commenced once the communication and the environment is made. So there's a great adventure of love this week, but you've got to show up and be a pair. You got to show up and be part of the story and not. It's okay to reflect and hermit, but express the emotions, express the beliefs, express the opinions, and it might draw things closer than holding them back. Like the conversation's going to go farther by having it than not having it. Whatever it is, it's like open convo. It's like open curiosity and talking about all things. I feel like that's a good thing.
Our favorite. Exposing.
That opens up a lot. That actually could,
it's needed.
that could also open up sexy time really intense. Like, you're so sapiosexual. I love that you just want to talk to me even about the weirdest stuff. Oh my God.
And opening up and divulging our secrets.
Like, they don't even have to see, your second cousin, Sasquatch, midget, not hung.
And then somehow they lost all their hair. And then they grew it back on the top and it was like yellow and it was weird. And they looked like they were just drunk the whole time, dancing around. And some of them, they kind of looked like they were angry. But we know that they're not because they're in a whole nother dimension. And in this dimension, they're furry woodland creatures running through the Everglades, running through the Rockies, running through the Redwood Forest. They're running everywhere. They're running rampant in the United States. And it's time that we expose them.
Who's leading this charge? You? The quest for the juice. The juice is loose. Gemini.
Speaking of Geminis.
What about Geminis?
Isn't there a Gemini party tomorrow?
The new moon's in Capricorn for spiritual dance music.
On High Vibe TV school?
Oh, yeah. Erika's school. Yeah, Erika's Gemini. She's having her school tomorrow. I was like, what? A party? Fucking spiritual dance is in Capricorn tomorrow. Which, by the way, that spiritual dance music tomorrow, I've been thinking a lot about the subliminal messaging I'm going to do in that mix with Pluto. And it's Capricorn, too. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on with you for this week. 8th house, new moon with Pluto. You ready to take down all your walls, Gemini? All your trust walls or your obsession with things that are not giving you what you want at all. You know that. Let's see. Pulled the High Priestess reverse. Uh-oh. Your challenge card is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Uh-oh. Your overall is the Ace of Swords. That's good. Upright. And the way you get through this challenge is the Tower. Well, we got this High Priestess reversed. I mean, I think that you're in a spiritual crisis mode here. I think that you have convinced yourself that you know better than what spirit does. I think that you have put too much control and energy in your relationship life into following your own guidance and not spirit's guidance. Because the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse in your challenge, you have not gotten what you wanted. It is not all turned out. You might have a big crisis situation just in the realization of where you're at in your life. With the Tower there, I'm just going to skip to there first, because the Tower with the Queen of Pentacles is realizing, the way you get through this is realizing that it's okay to realize that you didn't nurture or get the things that you wanted because you didn't follow spirit. And it's okay to end those situations the way that you wanted to. Or I think that this is a major repair that must take place about consequences and issues that you've made. You've got the Ace of Swords upright as your overall. I am free of your bullshit. I think this is the free of your own bullshit. I think that this is the freedom to finally start to see the truth. I think that you are going to see the truth that you followed away from what you thought. You thought you were following your spirit, which you were following your own ego. You were following your own trust issues. You were following your own way. But I think that you have realized that you weren't following where spirit was telling you. It was like, I don't want to listen to spirit. So you were believing it was your spirit. Spirit was talking to you. But in many ways, there's a big Tower moment coming. We will pick one more card, because anytime I pick a Tower card, I'm going to always see why. The Knight of Swords in reverse. You have pulled away from jumping into things. You have played it safe. You're playing it way too safe. So the Tower is this safety that you thought was going to bring you everything, or continuing to realize that you need to bail out of these boring situations. These are boring situations. Boring. Lame. Man, there's some lame situations going on here, Gemini. What's going on? The Page of Pentacles upright. So I think that you have to realize and take a look at the surface stuff of life more, the more physical world, and what you really value and what you want, and go, did I follow that too much and not what spiritually I want to? Or I think that there's mass confusion about what you want spiritually and what you want physically, that they're at odds. And I think that you need to learn to see that maybe, okay, the offers you've had came from non-spiritual places, or the way that you created your life, you thought it was creating you into a more spiritual place, but with love, I think that you there's something missing here. And so I think that Spirit's going to try and deliver you a message of something, or an offer, or an invitation, and you need to maybe listen to it. I feel like you're not willing to listen to it. I feel like Spirit's offering you something great and you're not listening, and you're going to need to listen. You're going to want to listen. And you're dealing with the Four of Cups reversed with that Ace of Swords. So there you are. Okay, here's this awesome thing to start off and figure things out, but then it's almost like you don't want to go through with it. It's almost like, I don't want to have to go through having to deal with it, or, again, not seeing the blessing is the Four of Cups. Like, God's already delivered the blessing. You've been delivered a blessing, and then I think that you've also been delivered what you wanted, which didn't work. And I think that you feel stupid. It's like, maybe you fucked a blessing up too, that it could be repaired. That's what I'm feeling deeply with this. Your overall card here, well, you pulled the 10th house of the world. Yeah, it's time to get your world back in order by making decisions and being an adult again and following destiny. Where's destiny in your life? I think that you took destiny off the course and tried to control your own world, instead of letting destiny be the course that you are in cooperation with destiny and the way that you want your world.
Hey, when destiny calls, right?
When destiny calls. Yeah, I mean, when corporation prison camps from Amazon come, and there's a predicted in November of 2017. I haven't been on YouTube since that came out. Told you. That was the number one. I'm going to be honest, because I don't reveal everything in my life about what people say. The number one gripe I get from people from my 2020 predictions that go back for 3 years plus was the corporation prison camp thing. It was just the biggest trigger. That's never going to happen. I'll never see a corporation build housing and they work there and feed them there and do all that shit, and they make them billions, and they basically go, well, you already got free housing, so you're going to be working, so why am I going to pay you that much money? Fucking just happened. So told you. And all my other predictions about life, that people are thinking, you haven't fucking, just, you know what? I sat and waited fucking 3 years and 2 months for that prediction to come true. I can wait fucking 2 more weeks. I can wait 5 months. I can wait 5 more years. I am that fucking solid on predictions. The High Priestess with your love story. How funny that's with your sexy time. That's the card you got in reverse at the beginning of this reading. And you need to go to the spiritual love story. It's like you're in an unspiritual love story and you need to get to a spiritual love story. ASAP. Saturn in Aries in the 12th. Wow. Well, at least you're confronting all of your ego issues that have pulled you away from your soul because you've tried to control your ego in a place where you have pulled away and lost the things that you actually really wanted in the end. So you got what you wanted, but it was an illusion, and now you have to deal with it. And you're going to have to remind yourself that the number one thing in life is to identify and to build things, and especially love, from a relationship standpoint, from spirit, not from just what you want, and without looking at the spiritual connection. You can like blind yourself and think it's a spiritual connection, but if it's not connected, especially in these times, oh my God, what are you doing?
It's been apparent more now than ever, that spiritual connection really matters. Is this individual someone that you want to spend time with? That really matters now more than ever. Before we kind of just brush it off and go about living separate lives, so to speak. But not anymore, not going forward. So it really does kind of bring up that, have you been wasting time? Have you been not being fully honest and open with yourself? Are you just in this relationship for shallow means? Or is there really that depth to it? I think that it's a necessity to actually look before you progress any further in this life.
Well, somebody in the chat said, your devil hand signs, Leo, shame. Devil hand signs?
All right.
I mean, I learned sign language at Deerfield University, at Deerfield Elementary. I didn't know I do devil hand signs. I don't even know what devil hand signs are.
Don't you be summoning Satan over here now.
What are devil hand signs?
Don't you be doing
I'm
it.
calling
You know
this
what
person
you
out. You know what? The show is going mellow. And you know what? I like mellow. Right. But I like fucking this show to be wild. That's why it was built. Why are you calling that out?
The wrath of Almighty God.
No, you just woke up the lion. Bah! I was sleepy today. I was sleepy.
Almighty.
I was sleepy at the dark moon in Capricorn. Very mundane and boring. But you have woken it up. What are devil hand signs? What are devil hand signs? I need to know. What are devil hand signs when I'm pulling cards? Like, what is devil hand signs? I need to know what devil hand signs are.
Maybe it's just the rock on sign.
But no, put the camera here. Let's just look for 1 second. What is a devil hand sign when I'm like, what cards am I not using?
That thumb is definitely
I'm not using this.
summoning the devil.
I'm going like this. I'm going.
That thumb of yours.
Oh my God! Devil hand signs, and then you don't know. What is this? The devil hand sign? Oh my God! Is that a devil hand sign or what? What? Ooh, the way I put the card down, is that a devil hand sign? I need to know.
But then Cosmic Love said their hands for fucking. So on the other side of that, she likes your hands.
Like, well, no, this person does not like my hands.
Well, we don't care about that person.
Well, I care because that's a pretty fucking gnarly action. Because there was the word shame, and my number one thing in life is fucking shaming is just so stupid. Shame. But you can shame somebody back if they shame you.
Shame.
But I don't go shaming somebody.
You're shamed.
I mean, I'll be honest. I shame Doreen Virtue, but you know,
hear that, you
she blocked me.
You're now shamed.
And, she screwed the spiritual community over. So,
shame on you.
And called us all devils. So, what are you Doreen Virtue, or is that what you're hiding at?
Shame on you for
Is that Doreen Virtue in here right now?
There's just so much shame.
You know what? Is that Doreen Virtue? Oh my gosh, I didn't know she trolled my fucking shit. Unless we get an answer, we're going to assume it's Dorian Virtue.
Shame. Shame.
I guess, see, the person can't even answer.
Shame.
Can't even answer.
Shame.
Well, good luck to you in your shaming.
Shame.
Sounds like you're having a wonderful life. Maybe you should put that movie on.
Shame. Sulfur does stink, but it's good for you also. It
Probably going to go on
takes away.
Twitter and fucking, just like how that girl Starhill did this weekend and said that I was a white nationalist, like Jiminy Christmas.
Jiminy.
As I do, I thought it was really funny. I'm like, yeah, I do a collective horoscope because I just think about white people in my horoscopes. Like, fucking redonkulous. Like, this is just redonkulous going around now. Honestly, it's stupid. Why do you think I'm not showing up on YouTube? Why do you think I'm on High Vibe? Why do you think I'm on Telegram? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, and people are freedom of speech. Like, and I believe in that. But I'm going to call you out and say, like, give me some sort of evidence that I'm doing it. I don't even know what a devil hand sign is. What's a devil hand sign?
I don't know.
Sag. Devil hand sign. Here's a devil hand sign. All right, Sag, let's see what's going on for your reading for this week. It's getting cold in here, but I hope you can warm me up, Sag. Hope you can warm me up. We're giving you the vamp. No, you know what we're giving you tonight? The Tarot of the Night deck. Sag, how's there? What's going on with the Sages? You know what, you guys, I'm even giving you a little shuffle, even though look at that. I'm going to give you two shuffles. Oh, that feels so good, Sag. Just so you can know that I'm not making up this reading. Some Sages might have that belief. Oh, every time he just sings blah, 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 blah. He does devil hand fucking shit. King of Swords upright. All right. Your challenge is the Hierophant. Ooh, we got some big cards popping up for Sagittarius here. Upright. The overall is the Ace of Swords reverse. Wow, that card's come up a lot tonight in all different decks. And your way to get through the challenge, we'll do a different deck. Sag is like a little bit of kinky switching up. We'll give you a zombie card. How do you get through that Hierophant? The Justice card. Holy schnappies. On top, two major arcana on top of each other. Well, okay, so King of Swords, you're coming into this week really confident in knowing the direction and sure of what you're doing. But you're watching this show. Maybe you get it from me. I don't know. But the problem with that confidence is it's leading right into this challenge of the Hierophant. Are you becoming subservient? That's how I look at it. Or is it becoming, I don't know, I'll be honest, the Hierophant can become subservient. It can also be, is your partner like serving you and you got them right where you want them? But with that Ace of Swords at the end there, at that overall, it's kind of like something's amiss. Something's not of truth here. And you got the Justice card with this Hierophant. Is it really spiritual here? Is it really coming from a good space? Is this really a commitment energy that's got fairness and balance? Because there's a lot here of like some situations that are not really in alignment with fairness and justice. I feel like there's a lie being exposed this week with the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Justice card over the Hierophant card. You know, it's almost like if the Pope were to lie to us, that would never happen, right? Or you're lying There's a lie here, though. I don't think it's, you know what? It's pretty big. The Justice and the Hierophant card. That's like the justice system coming after the church, right? The Hierophant is the church, Sag. So, you know, is this really spiritual? Is this worth the commitment? And is it, the challenge is maybe you have to weigh out, is this really a spiritual connection? Or is it just like in the mind, yeah, this works. But maybe you know the choice. But I got a feeling that you're not getting to where you want to go. Because that Ace of Swords reverse is always like, you're not piercing the veil and going where you want to go. That King of Swords came up because you got the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ooh, so there's a home situation here issue, or just finding that foundation to build and grow. I think that you have the idea of what you want to grow with somebody, but it's not happening for some reason. It's not. There's trouble in paradise. There's the Brady Bunch. It's not happening, right? Like the Brady Bunch house is not happening. Like there's not the house to have all the things, to do all the things that you want to do. There's trouble in that area, or you're having trouble with even figuring out how to have time. Like, you know, if we use love language, like, you know, quality of time, you know. It feels like that's off. And it almost feels like that you are trying to figure it out, but you almost know that. Maybe you're, you know, somebody's trying to not do quality of time on purpose, and you pulled the Seven of Pentacles with that Ace of Swords. So it looks like the issue and why the environment is not really in a fresh space is because there's a lot of work. But it almost feels like the return has not shown up yet. I gotta go a little deeper into this. Why is that Justice card popping up? The Empress. Wow. 3 major arcana in a row in challenge. I got a feeling that this is a lot of work, and it's not building. It's like sandcastles that keep getting washed out by the beach. And you know that you deserve better, but you're trying to figure it out as best as you can. But it's a lot of bitch work instead of just like, it's not easy. There's a lot of complications going on. And it almost feels like there's too much subservient energy. It's almost like trying to either serve each other just because, trying to follow some sort of traditional protocol, integrity that's based upon it not working. So it's almost like putting the integrity before the universe when the signs are just showing that something's not like, something's amiss, something's not working. You pulled the Yod Destiny. Holy snap. All right. A very complicated moment here this week about your relationship life. And, you gotta, a Yod is a very weird thing. It feels like, you're a puppet on a string. And it's, I was born with a lot of Yods, so I can tell you that, finger of God is the finger of fate. You're at a fated moment. And it's pointing you towards where you need to go. Where is that pointing to? I'm going to pick one card and then go into the sexy time card. It's pointing to Temperance reversed, an unnatural situation where you keep thinking it's like also because the nun is smoking a bong, she's high. And so she thinks it's spiritual when it's not. I feel like your destiny is realizing something that's spiritual that's not. It's cloaked in spirituality, but it's not. Or it's unorganic. It's not naturally forming right. It's like you constantly need rescue or savior or loans, spiritual loans to energetic loans, or help, or situations that keep arising that aren't letting this thing work naturally. It's not organic. Your sexy time. What do we got here, Sag? You pulled the Six of Swords reversed. Afraid to experience a new kind of connection? I mean, that's a big one, because that Six of Swords reversed doesn't want to go to the better place, or your sex life is not going to a better place. It continues to be in a place that is not the greatest, and it needs to be something different. But there's a fear there. And you got to get over that fear. This is Oh, man. Well, you deserve the best for you, but if you want to be the nurse bonged out, subservient, and the Brady Bunch house can't even be built, and work your butt off and not get to the environment that you want, go right ahead. I mean, you know, that's unfair. The middle of all this is the Justice card. I'll even give you a cross. 7 of Swords. Again, that's 2 7. That's deception, lies, and look at betray. Like, this is I'm sorry to say, like, that sucks. Wow. This thing's all crossed by fucking 7 of Swords. Like, this is the person who's going to sell you bullshit and junk, and you know, you're buying bullshit, you're owning bullshit, and you know it, and you don't know how to deal with it. Oh, you were the one this week that, oh, I got it.
A telling sign.
I keep pushing it back.
It's a telling sign.
Did you notice I'm wearing Goodyear shoes?
No, I did not notice
You
that.
didn't notice these are race shoes?
You know, I don't really look deeply at your shoes.
Look at those kicks.
I think there's a better way to showcase that. I think you got to lay on your back and flutter them up over your head.
No, they're full race shoes.
From Rome.
Mr. Roger got me those for Christmas.
Oh, Hickey Speed. Hickey Speed. There's a lot going on in that reading there.
Yeah, I know. The last
Whole
8th house Saturn Taurus. Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, we already know that the sex thing was off. Saturn in the 8th here, with Taurus not really the quality that was there anymore. It's dull. It also is you having to face a deep truth. There's secrets that are being kind of overpassed, and the surface level, and you got to get deeper here to get to the good stuff. And there's also you know, you pulled the 7 of Swords here, and you got it with a Saturn in the 8th in Taurus. You know, these are like little white lies that lead up to big lies.
You got to start somewhere.
It's just what it says, folks. That's what it says.
Nobody wants to just continue to put work and effort into
Our
situations.
president-elect is Sad Rising, so interesting.
Well, you know, and he's putting in work. We're all putting in work, but, you know, at some point you got to say, is this work actually worth it? You know, is it worth the energy that I'm putting into it? Is this person worth the energy? Am I just burning myself out? You know, these are all questions that you need to ask yourself if you're coming up with these issues. If they're just persistent, they just keep popping up and popping up and popping up. You know, I mean, you can't suppress the message any further. Why are you even doing it? Why are you even here? Why are you putting that energy into it if you know it's not gonna, it's not gonna amount to anything? It's not amount to anything great. The greatness that you're actually worthy of, huh? Tell me.
Yes, Joe Biden is a Scorpio, but he is a Sad Rising, which I said he was a Sad Rising.
Me, Hill Dog Joe, private jet, yeah.
I heard his dog is going to be inaugurated.
Fluffles?
One of his dogs is going to be like inaugurated a dog too at the inauguration.
Perfect. Me, Hill Dog Joe, and Fluffles, the dog, private jet. Yeah,
Did you see? I don't know if it's a fake picture or not, but did you see Hunter Biden's getting his teeth fixed so he can go to the inauguration?
Oh, nice. Every crackhead has his day.
Yeah, no, I hope he gets really nice veneers. Like, looks really good. I wouldn't want to go to my dad's inauguration if I fucking had my teeth all fucked up. So, makes sense. Capricorn. We are near the end. We got Capricorn, and we're on the last 4 signs.
Yeah. Voila.
All right, Cappies, what's going on? Big new moon in your sign this week. It's going to be interesting to see what endures from this new moon, and with lots of planets in your love house squaring your second house. Let's see. You pulled the World card. All right. You pulled as your challenge card. You pulled the Six of Swords. Man, these cards are coming up a lot. Seven of Cups. And your challenge here is the Five of Wands reversed. Well, can't deny the World card here. I think that, the world's a big important thing for you, the world that you want in your love life, especially it's upright. It's definitely an opportunity to have the world that you want, but that usually comes with a completion and a new beginning. And when you see this with a challenge that has to be a card that's about moving into new energy, maybe that's your issue, is moving into this new world. Whether you and your partner have decided you're going to change things, or you are ready to change things and move forward in a relationship, just in general. And with having your overall as a Seven of Cups, there's so many options out there. There's so many, fantasies and dreams and prizes. Something we're going to have to look at. But the way that we get through this understanding of the fear or the challenge of moving into the new direction of the relationship is you're not wanting to engage with change at all, or you're avoiding conflict. That's an issue. Because the conflict in this World card is that the zombie apocalypse, the only way that they were able to get rid of the zombie apocalypse was to literally burn the earth, right? And end up on the Mars or the moon, wherever. It looks like Mars, actually, but it looks more like the moon, although it's a little red. And it's just them two, but I don't know if they carry the zombie virus on them.
I love Neptune.
But at least the earth no longer will. It's been erased of it. So, I got a feeling that this is about trying to avoid the conflict of taking yourself to a better place in relationships and seeing the awesome dreams and opportunities. Sure, they could be fanatical or they could be fantasy. Let's find out. What's going on with that World card?
Just hanging around with my head in the sand, just letting the earth pass me by.
Well, you got the Sun card. It's a great card.
I love the sun. Sun's probably my favorite planet.
I think that the world that you want is, look at that fucking, that true you, that true sun, that true light of your soul. Why is this Seven of Cups popping up? Five of Swords reversed. Not trying hard enough and not willing to even kind of push for what you want. Maybe in the relationship, you're not even trying to push for more. I got a feeling like, you're kind of like complacent wherever you're at. And I think but you're not complacent. You're acting complacent when you're not inside. You know that there is this extreme, amazing world of happiness and love, but you're not doing anything about it, or you're avoiding it completely. This is a lot of avoidance. And when the Five of Swords is there, that's dud energy. At least the Five of Swords, even though it can push too hard, when it's reversed, it's like, wow, you're not even putting any effort in at all. Like, you're not trying to do anything. You're trying to do energies, probably in other energies besides love. It's almost like, cobwebs are starting to grow.
You got to brush those old cobwebs off and start getting some movement going on.
Yeah, you got the seventh house of relationships is your overall card here. So, this is a big thing that you need to focus on, is you're hyper-focused on your relationships this week. So this love reading is pretty big, and this new moon is about your relationships and the changes that are going to happen in your life, especially in that area. Your sexy time card here.
Sexy time.
Well, you pulled the Chariot.
Ooh. Is that threesome?
What? Well, it's commanding the chariots, right? The two people to go in the direction that, but it's also divided by spirit. But this is also a new direction.
How many people are on that card?
It's a very weird card, because I don't even want to associate people being like driving the cart and being in control of them.
Well, some people like that in sexy time.
Well, yeah, if you're into bondage, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the Chariot, so I'm not trying to look at these cards too literal. I'm just, somebody send them to us and we're trying it out. I mean, I don't know how many. Everybody sent us cards, so we try them all out. You know what I mean? We give everything a shot on this show. But I feel that the Chariot with the seventh house of relationships, you know, the Chariot leaves an area it understands and knows, and there's nothing else, there's no more answers. So all that's left is to leave the little town and move on, especially the little town of fucking little Sasquatch, fucking mini little Sasquatches that didn't have hung energy that you were looking for, I guess, right? So you move on. And you go towards the quest of the new thing that is guided by the moon. It's got the Magician wand. The Chariot card has it all. And I feel like, I think that your only choice here is the adventure of the relationship that you really want to have in your life, that you define in yourself, and that you need to be more visionary about, and that you needed to go. And the Six of Swords and the Chariot are very relatable. And then you got the World card here, and you got it with the Sun. I mean, come on. You either can have the world that you want and the life that you want, but you gotta take the risk of going into what real divine partnership is in your life and move to where that really is, Capricorn. Because like you're at a place to where you're at there's no other option kind of thing. And that's just truth. Mercury in Cancer in the 9th. I mean, you need to express your feelings and emotions and understand that, you know, your feelings are definitely wanting to be understood, but at the same time, if they're not being reciprocated back, then what are you doing continually? Mercury gets lost in the 9th. There's too many feelings. So I think I got a feeling that you're looking at too many things, and when it starts to get to too many and to too many things, something's off. And I think that you have to realize that it should be just already solid and known, and that person should understand you completely. But I feel like these are also, you know, opinion kind of emotional battles and you know, a lot of like deep emotional times and trying to find excitement and fun. You know, it's moody, and it's got a lot of moods. I mean, you think a mood ring's got a lot of colors. This week, your environment and your communication and your feelings and relationships are going to be more moody than a mood ring.
You're going to be a beautiful rainbow up there, expressing yourself just with all sorts of love and feeling and admiration to yourself and to the partner that you're with. Well,
yeah, I mean, that's what's good. The 9th house can be very positive. So,
yeah, very positive.
But then with Cancer there and Mercury, it could also then go, oh. So it's like bipolar.
Wrangle it in a bit.
It's a little bipolar emotions.
Wrangle it in. Focus your energy. Focus and then move. Don't be scattered. Don't be trying to fix everything all at once. Just go color by color up that beautiful rainbow. Make it a part of your life.
The Sasquatch rainbow, Cancer. Do Sasquatches create with their trees? I'm really interested about the tree thing. So I don't understand. Like, so do Sasquatches, when they move, they break the trees and they fall in that direction, or do they actually go back and pick up the broken pieces of the tree and make the X? That's my question. Do you have the answer for me?
What did you pick?
Or do you need to call a friend?
What did you pick again?
So in the Sasquatch.
No, what sign did you pick?
Oh, Cancer.
From the imaging that I have seen,
I'm listening.
There are many different forms of the Sasquatch calling card. There is the in the trees, like we said. They can be bent. They can be bent, and they will be very straight edges. I saw one with multiple pieces. I'm telling you, multiple. So not even just an X. It's almost like a star figure, aka portal to another dimension. Other ones, it just kind of bends. So I'm sure if it's maybe like a looping tree, you know, something that they kind of have a magnetic pole, you know, that those Sasquatch, they use those mythical like creature skills that they have accumulated over eons and eons of life in the dense forests. And then they manipulate the tree with their energetic ray beams that come out of their human monkey hands, and then it whoom, 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 and then the trees, they bend.
I still haven't got the answer because it's a very unnatural way that it looks. It looks like somebody is propping the trees for the pictures. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's a portal of love. Quantum.
No, okay, here. Okay, I have one more question.
That was quantum teak. That wasn't even.
You just opened up a whole other thing. Since the male Sasquatches are so hung,
yeah,
is it what part of the Sasquatch makes it this thing to make it look that way with the trees? Is it that big old thing that's just smacking into the trees?
It's their Sasquatch love force. The Sasquatch love force comes radiating up from the earth out of their giant Sasquatch hands into that tree. It's a momentous love experience.
Can I just say something about this?
Of course.
I mean, 2020 brought us a lot of craziness, right? The last thing in my mind I thought I would be talking about would be Sasquatch. I mean, I feel Sasquatch was very 80s.
It's back. They're coming full circle. Well, it's almost like the forgotten generation of Sasquatch because they were here. Do you remember Harry and the Hendersons? I mean, Sasquatch was in our living room on like every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central. And then all of a sudden, Harry was gone and left us with a giant void within our heart. And now he's back.
So basically, it's going to come back to a television show called Alf. That's who Sasquatch is. At the end of the day, is Alf.
Well, Alf
was Alf hung?
No. Alf would be like the Keebler elf of the forest, I would say. I think that he would be living in the tree up there, perched up, kind of watching. He'd be Sasquatch's eyes and ears of the above foliage, and then they work together in unison to create harmony within inside the forest for all the woodland creatures.
God, you got all the info, bro.
I'm just channeling it, you know.
Okay, so I swear this will be my last one about Sasquatch. So we know it's back from the 80s.
Harry's back.
And so with that turned into Alf, what's going to come out now? Like, I have a good, this is, yeah, so could the Sasquatch be the one that gave the world coronavirus because of the fact that 2 apes have been tested and have coronavirus, and they're saying it's from the zookeeper who was asymptomatic who wore a mask?
No, I think that
so what I'm trying to say is it's not the girl with the mask on that's asymptomatic. What if, what if apes and what if Sasquatch just goes and has his time with his apes, and then leaves? Did they check the tree line around San Diego Zoo?
No, I think that it had to do with tainted samples from an alien abduction in the Mission Bay, San Diego, on New Year's Eve. Those aliens, they got a little lazy. They didn't clean off the instruments after, and then they abducted the gorillas from the zoo to do a little genome sequence. Tainted samples got into the gorillas. And voila, now we're going to have an outbreak, and it's going to be Planet of the Apes coming here in 2021. That is my bold prediction. Planet of the Apes 2021. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so somebody had brought up, too, that, the president of Nigeria is testing all the bananas, and they've tested positive for COVID, too. And it's true. I think a lot of, I always feel that the only sanity in this world is Africa, It's in the middle, and they live the way that, I guess, I think it's really ironic, Westerners who try to be like, we live for the earth and how the way the earth should be. It's like, okay, well, then go to Africa, because that's how they're doing it. Right. But if that's your idea or belief. But 2, you know, I like that there was a couple different leaders in Africa that were testing fruit and animals and stuff, and they weren't. It was like they were popping positive, but I think that what the story and the narrative about the San Diego story is going to pop up as is because remember they found this new patented UK variant since the UK didn't have a patent yet on this pandemic. So right around the time that they got their in the arm shot approved, that I think that they're trying to say in this new story that came out today is that if you wear a mask and you're asymptomatic, that this thing is so intense now and mutated that it spreads, including to apes. So I was thinking about this today. I'm like, so where are they going to go with this now? They don't want you around anybody because it'll spread by anybody? So we're going to throw you in New York, the new detention camps, right? That idea. Like, that's what's scaring to me is this story because it's like they're using it as you don't put out that story unless you're going to go somewhere with it. And especially the fact that they showed the picture of the zookeeper with the mask on. Like, why do you show that? Why don't you just show a normal picture of her, like how she's always worked there, like in her San Diego Zoo outfit? No. You have to show like the picture of her with the mask on and that she was asymptomatic and she spread it to the two chimps. Like, and she was asymptomatic, but how do we really even know that?
Well, maybe she was having a chariot moment with the two apes.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God. That's why I'm saying, Newsom, bro, it was the Sasquatches. You need to check the tree lines. And have you been testing Sasquatch yet? You got 500,000 signatures, bro. You better watch out.
Newsom couldn't catch Sasquatch on his
I'm just
best
like,
day.
I'm like looking out for him, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like letting you know, dude. Like, bro.
We coming.
Like, you need to look into that story a little more because it feels very, I was going to say fishy, but I should have said Sasquatchy. Cancers, it's time for you all.
I made some beef stew today in the crock pot.
Oh.
It's going to be delicious.
Do you get it from the beef from San Diego Zoo?
No. I didn't. Got it.
Is this Sasquatch soup?
It is organic. All organic, all day.
6 of Cups in
Steamy
reverse.
stew. Coming for you, Cancers.
Your challenge card is the King of Swords. Your overall is the 10 of Cups reversed. Oof. And your challenge to get through it is the 5 of Cups. Right. So, 6 of Cups. It's kind of a rough card there, reverse. It's, you know, it's the card of memories, of course. Of course, in this one it says fuck social distancing, right? But there's this reversal here. I would say... With this King of Swords here and this 10 of Cups, I would say that the challenge is if you think that you understand the way that your magical love story should look and you're referring it to this memories or this safe space for it to be in, it's not there. There's a lot of questions that you don't really understand where things are going. You've got the 5 of Cups, the sorrow card, the bye bitch on understanding where things are going. So, you know, it's kind of rough because this is kind of like a hard reading for Cancers because these are all cards, especially the two main ones here. The 6 of Cups is very safe. It's very inviting and creates simple and beautiful memories in a beautiful garden. But then you've got this 10 of Cups reversed, which is like the whole story of the family that gets together and creates this rainbow. That's this beautiful story, and it's reversed. And it's got this bye bitch kind of energy emotionally. So either somebody's saying bye or you're saying bye, because maybe, you know, there's definitely some rough energy here. Pulled the Devil card here. Oof. Which can be addicted or feeling like, you know, you're kind of addicted to the past memories, or, you know, this one's a really weird reading because this one's tough. I'm trying to be nice, but I don't know how to be nice. It's a shitty reading. The Devil card with the 6 of Cups would be bad memories. Maybe it's bad memories that you continue to hold on to. Could be also a partner you're with from the past that's trying to come back, that's bad. And you think you know. It could be somebody it's definitely somebody from the past. There's definitely a past energy here with that past 6 of Cups. And then, but you're trying to move forward into something. So it's almost like bad memories from the past coming up. You pulled the 9 of Swords. Wow. I mean, these are all really hard cards. This is the anxiety card with the 10 of Cups. I think that you're going through a really big freak out this week about whether or not your love story in general is going to turn into a demonstrous ex or past trauma situation, because I think that you don't understand where things are going. And, you know, for you, it's like accepting the way through this is like realize that, you know, not everything's going to look the way it is, and to not get too emotionally invested in it being a certain way. These are extreme cards. So I'm going to pick Judgment. Wow. Fuck. With the Devil and the Knight of Wands. So that's good. I would say that the Judgment card is, there has to be a higher source of the reason for your love stories. It can't just be based upon safe spaces and emotions and, you know, sexual connection or just an obsession. Like, there has to be a Judgment card is like doing something for the highest good, for the highest of all life, of spirituality. Like, there has to be a calling. And then the love story and the way that you want it to look is anxiety ridden, because is it really you wanting to leap in, or are you kind of hesitant of leaping in? Why are you not understanding where this is going? Ace of Cups. It's because there's definitely a lot of fears of really embracing. You're feeling empty fully emotionally in some sort of way, or something's off emotionally, or you're afraid of sorrow. So that's what you don't fill the cup up fully. You keep it like, there's like, you know, like a line that you reach on the cup that you're like, I don't know if I want to add any more emotion here because I don't want it to go to sorrow. This also could be you emotionally ready to pull out of a situation deeply, or somebody's pulling out and you're freaking out, but maybe they're freaking out because maybe you're stuck in the past trauma, or maybe you're, you know, freaked out about the future of a beautiful life from not wanting to jump into, you know, that's a Knight of Wands. He leaps into love, and look at both of them have that cross there. And there has to be this deep spiritual reason and purpose for things, and a mission energy. Your overall that you got here is Uranus, so it's going to be an unpredictable and rattling week here. But it's taking you to, you know, the better side of things, but it's going to look crazy. It's going to be a crazy week. And your sexy time reading here is Sexy Crab. You got the 2 of Pentacles reversed. So that's a lot of juggling around, but it's reversed. So I would feel like it's, you're in so many different places energetically. It might be fun being in an all over the place energy sexually, but with Uranus there, yeah, fuck it. I think that there's a lot of fuck it. And I think that it's fuck it to being connected to the past, fuck it to being afraid, fuck it to see if the cup gets emptied, it gets emptied. If it gets filled, it gets filled. I think that it's like letting go of so much attachment to the way that things ought to look, should look, and the emotions and the sorrows that could be connected to that or not, and the fears. You pulled the 8th house Virgo South Node. So this is the issue, I would say, is the delusion of how exactly things need to look for you to connect. The North Node would be opposite of this in Pisces in the 2nd, that it's about just letting go and letting things build beautifully in this natural way and being more carefree and open instead of so specific and trying to get to the depths of things or trying to get too deep and get too analytical about things, and trying also becoming too detective-like, And also, I would say it's like 8th house and Virgo really don't go well. Life is not meant to be a machine. This would be getting out of your machine-like tendencies for your passions and what you want. That's not how to draw it in. It's building a magical castle and dream of life that can only happen by being in an easy and magical place.
Yes, there's no absolute truth that you're just going to be continue to live by day in and day out. You're going to evolve a bit. The way that you look at individuals, the way you look at your life is going to change as you grow, as you learn new things. So it's going to be evolving. So you have to be flexible as well. You have to be willing to kind of flow with it and adapt and change, pivot your views, pivot your energy force and put it into other aspects of your life that are going to be more beneficial at that time. Don't just get stuck because you maybe had this initial thought of what you're going to go and focus on and what you're going to work on. If that's not necessarily working and you're having to force constantly, okay, go and see where it's actually flowing, see where the energy is actually taking you, see where your life and where your goals and where this thought process that you've kind of been honing in on for a while, where that's actually pinpointing. Because sometimes we might be looking at a picture, like we said earlier, you get a little too close to it and you can't actually see what's really going on. So if you take a step back, you'll be able to see where you need to move on a much more even playing field.
Yeah, I think got
in there.
I think that again, it's like complicating things and I think when you say it's an even playing field, it's like everybody's just showing up as best they can. And I think expecting others to be a certain way or the story to be a certain way and getting caught up in the details of things, it just fucks things up because nobody can ever meet those standards,
Yeah, you can't be trying to hold people to any sort of, obviously we can hold them to a higher standard of what we want to have in our life, but to just say it needs to be this certain way, that's not going to be beneficial for anybody.
Right. Leo, and then the last one is, I think, Libra. Who's the last one?
Libra sounds like
Libra, right. Probably, I think. I don't think I did Libra yet. Yep, so the last one's Libra after Leo. Leo, we're gonna do this deck. We're gonna do the Botticelli. All right. Let's see what's going on, Leo. Knight of Swords reversed. The Hermit is the challenge. Nine of Cups reversed is the overall. Two of Wands over that crotchety Hermit. So looks like Scorpio and Leos this week got the Hermits, the crotchety ones. Well, Knight of Swords reversed is definitely don't go rushing into something to save the day. And definitely, I think the Hermit is showing up as a challenge because you might want to make sure you know what you're doing and actually take some time to process things before you just rush into something this week. This is definitely taking the time to process things so you don't rush in, because we're going to get deeper on that, because the overall outcome is the Nine of Cups not being fulfilled emotionally, or being trying to over glorify something or over satisfy something that is not able to be satisfied. And the Two of Wands comes up because it's like you need to know the world you want, and you need to go in and process that. And if it's, don't go rush into something that's not the world that you want. It would just end up being this false idea of, it's like, don't rush into something. It's almost like this false illusion of this looks so good, too good to be true. But there's things that are being revealed this week that you don't maybe want to just like rush in really quick. I will throw the other option. There's two stories too. Or you might be dealing with somebody who doesn't want to rush into you, right? Because like the Nine of Swords is either you going, I shouldn't rush into this, or somebody's not wanting to rush fast into it, or somebody's not optimistic about it. Could be both, could be individuals. When it comes to what you're seeing here with this Knight of Swords reverse, the Tower. Damn. Definitely something's coming down here, especially if you try to rush it, or you're trying to save the day or save somebody. You can't save people. You can't do that, Leo. You can't bring them in to the Tower. They'll blow it up. You can't save somebody. I'll pull another card, because what's this Tower about? Justice. It's unfair. It's not just. It's out of alignment. I think that this is really about you realizing, are you going to put all your energy and jump into things or jump to conclusions about things, or anything that really is not in alignment, or not in the same energy, or really in the same balance? That Nine of Cups came up because of the Page of Swords reversed. These are definitely times where you're not getting the truth. You're not feeling that communication's coming your way. Maybe not the way that you want it to be too. Leo, you like things in a very optimistic way, and the Nine of Cups reversed is, it's not enough optimism. It's not enough positive emotion. Not feeling all the emotion all the way. And when the Page of Swords comes reversed, you feel like nobody's coming to you with the message, and inside of yourself, you feel like, it's hard for you to maybe communicate how you feel, or maybe it's hard for you to communicate, where's, Nine of Cups feels like there's something missing emotionally to make it great. It's like right on the precipice. So this is a complicated situation of, making sure that you're not jumping into situations that you already know, you can already see the outcome. You can already see it's not going to work. You already feel inside that it's not, there's something off there, and that you need to keep processing things. That Three of Wands there is, it's Two of Wands, I was right. It is the world that you can have in your hands. That unless it's that world fully that you want, don't go fucking doing it. Your overall card that you got, Leo, is the Virgo card. Analyze. You got to be specific. You might have to, get down to the brass tacks of how things really work, and how you work in your life, and how things are. And for it's a purity card. It's like, what feels pure to you, and what really makes sense. What's going to really fit into your world. And Leo's sexy time card. Weird.
Oh yeah,
fucking readings,
sex
man.
time, baby.
Weird fucking reading.
Those Leos about to give me a
Fucking
little
weird.
pick me up
Fucking weird.
right now. Come on down.
The Judgment reversed. Well, you don't want to be judged by somebody sexually, or jump into anything where, it's doing something that doesn't feel like it's got a higher calling, or just doing sex to do sex. There's got to be purpose behind it. And and a meaning behind it. But also, you know, you could be judged, or you could judge somebody by how they act in that way, or you could be feeling judged by how you are and how you know. I got a feeling that there is, with that justice reversed in the Tower, it's almost like there's somebody coming after you to try and take you down. And you don't need to fall for the drama of that. And there's a huge judgment there. There's a huge justice call. There's a huge page of like lies that are trying to, like, almost like you didn't fulfill their needs or something like that. I think that you have to be very cautious this week, though, Leo, about how you handle these things, and just stay in your purity, and you know the world you want, and you know the truth, and not lose yourself into stupid situations. Now, your 5th house, South Node in Gemini. So, you know, it's about focusing on the world that actually is the story that you want, not focused on this specific like love story situation that's curious to you or exciting to you, or that you're trying to continue to figure out. I think that it's the illusion that you have to continue to keep talking or keep figuring things out for love. It's already an automatic known happy story that you already go to. That's why Sag rules Leo's 5th house, not Gemini. That's an Aquarius story. And the North Node is opposite of this. So don't fall victim to relationships or love where it has to be talked about constantly and figured out constantly. And, you know, the communication is more of the love than the story.
That communication, that simple bliss. And there's even like the communication with just being there. You know, it's the simple pleasures of, you know, when you're driving in a car and you can just relax, or you're just enjoying the time being next to that individual. You know, there's that communication saying like, okay, we're on that same level. We're vibrating on that same level and on that same frequency. And it's being able to pick up on that. And I think it's important, but you know, it's not wavering on your convictions either. You know, it's knowing your appreciations, knowing your value, it's knowing your strengths, and putting that in the world, but not in an overwhelming manner. You know, you have to let the individual know who you are, but let them embrace that also at the same time without it being forced down their throat.
Yeah, because I feel like, Leo, if you feel like you're going down a territory and it just doesn't feel like it's you, it's like, that's just not going to feel good. Mm-mm. And then Leo just turns the energy off, you know? So don't go chasing waterfalls this week. Yeah. All right, Libra.
For the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Boom. What's up? What's going on? What's going on over there? Oh, what you doing? What you looking for there? Little Sasquatch, human hybrid, hiding down there beneath you, about to pop out and say, "Good day, Leo King." It's been a glorious 2.5 hours there.
I know. Fuck. When I lose shit. I had it. Couldn't have gone anywhere far. It probably just went.
We don't know where it goes. Sometimes it flies far away. Sometimes it's just right where we never thought that it'd be, and that's just in our pocket.
It fell on the ground.
You know, sometimes just on the ground right behind us. But you know where it's not. Where it's not is where it isn't.
Now we can do that Libra reading. Okay. Libra's last reading of the night. Let's see. The lovers of the zodiac. I mean, the relationship ones of the zodiac. Don't try and take that title from me. Or all of us Leos. The Sun card reversed. Your challenge is the 3 of Swords of Heartbreak. Whew. Your overall is the Chariot. But I like this one because it's got Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. See, they're on their way. And you get, how do you get through this challenge, 3 of Swords? You've got the 4 of Pentacles. licking that hung Sasquatch. So, Sun card reversed. Something is not as shiny as you thought it was. Or you're not feeling that way. Or you're in a relationship that's just not feeling that shiny. Or it's not feeling that great. It's not feeling like you can be your full self either. And also, I just think within yourself, if you're single or you're dating, you for some reason are not feeling in yourself that shiny. But I think that you're going to have to realize that the challenge is that you're breaking your own heart if you're in that case. Or the challenge is that you've realized that you're not really into something. The Sun card reversed in a love reading is I'm not into it. It doesn't shine, it doesn't light me up. Yeah, and this is a very Libra card, this Sun card, if we take a look at it. She's got French fries and she's, out in the sun on the beach, fucking having a time of her life. Very Libra picture. Reversed. You're not feeling that way about somebody. Where do you feel that way about somebody? Because you keep putting yourself through heartbreak, and this is saying to move on and go on the adventure, because guess what? The way you get through this is the Four of Pentacles. You will really like what you go get. Not if you don't like what you really don't get, then you're going to be heartbroken. So if you're avoiding going after love, you're not going on the journey, and you're thinking in yourself you're not shiny, well, it's because you're not going on the shiny road and getting what you want. When you get what you want, you feel this because you know what? A partner took a picture of this Libra. You couldn't selfie that one. That's pretty deep. The reason why you got that Sun card reversed is you pulled the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, this is some self-worth issues, or you're over somebody because you don't feel like that they're able to hold the value that you want or nurture you that great, or they're not that nurturing, or, you're not wanting to nurture them, but they're over-nurturing you. And you're like, And the Chariot came up because you got the Knight of Pentacles upright. You got to move forward in life to get to the better stuff. It's a long journey in life, but you got to keep that journey moving forward. And when it's time that the universe is called to take you on the Rainbow Highway to Las Vegas, you got to go, You got to trust the universe. You got to go, though. You got to make the moves. You got to go towards where you want to go in life. You can't stay in this unshiny or stuck in something that you're not attracted, because it's more than just that's not that shiny anymore, exciting. There's not a lot of attractiveness anymore with that Queen of Hazards or Pentacles. And then you got a Four of Pentacles as your way through the heartbreak. And this Four of Pentacles, she is into that saxophone. You know what I mean?
Sexy time.
Your overall card here is the 9th house. Time to open up new doors and new journeys. The 9th house is the house of journeys and new adventures. It is faith, but it's the faith in knowing what you believe in and what you see. And what you know of the story that works for you in your life. Your sexy time card, it'll be interesting. You already got a little Four of Pentacles there, what you really want. Oh my gosh, but you got it with heartbreak though. That's the way to get through heartbreak though. Oh.
Sexy time.
What did you pull up here?
Who's gonna get some sexy time? You're gonna get that sexy time.
You pulled the Knight of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords. I got a feeling that Libras are afraid to go into wild and crazy, exciting situations. I feel like you're in dull situations. Knight of Swords reversed.
Is it freak flag time?
Well, I feel like they're afraid of freak flag time. I think that they're avoiding it. I also think if they're in a relationship, they're not in one, because the Knight of Swords is very exciting and wanting to dive in real quick. The Knight of Swords is I don't know if I should. I don't think so. I don't want to rush anything. I guess you don't really want to open up a new story, even though you're desperate for one. Sun in the 12th house in Gemini. So this is some deep subconscious just rhetoric in your mind that you, in the environment you're in, is holding you back. And the kind of people that, when it comes to your relationships, you have to really pay attention to the communication coming forward. And the thoughts that are coming through your head are not just coming random and trying to just throw away your thoughts. You got to actually what is being divinely channeled to you that's coming up. And you need to follow that and not question it too much to the fact that you don't do anything about it. Question it and then follow the flow. But it also is cutting out some sort of situation that doesn't make sense anymore logically and doesn't align with spiritual environment and life for you anymore.
Ding dong.
Which always means the opposite side of that is the opposite of what I just said. So,
and that's the essence.
And maybe that's a Sasquatch.
Maybe you have a Sasquatch-like energy inside that you are repressing down. You need to let that freak flag Sasquatch energy out, but in a beautiful manner, in a productive manner, in a manner that's going to go get you that life force that you've been desiring. You just got to go out there, grab it. Let yourself out. Let yourself out into the wild a bit, okay?
Well, happy new moon week, everybody. Happy Mars square Saturn. Happy Jupiter square Uranus. Happy uncertainty. Spiritual dance music tomorrow. Erika's school, Beyond the Planets, is available on highvibetvschool.com, or just go to highvibe.tv, click on the school. It starts tomorrow. It's 8 weeks long. We also have my 2021 video, which is available right now. It's on rental if you want the cheaper rate, and or you can get the purchase, because it is a video you're going to want to have with you throughout the year to understand the predictions I make and how to get through this year and the time periods that are the most sensitive. It's 4 hours and 50 minutes long. So that's at High Vibe TV. Just go on the paid videos section. I was going, don't worry. I know a lot of people have questions right now about what am I doing here on YouTube. I am bringing a weekly horoscope back, just the uncut. And last week, switching it all. And we were busy last week. We were doing our, it was the first week of the new year. It was our big meetings about where High Vibe's going for the year. It's also been crazy censorship out there. It's also been looking into the social network aspect of High Vibe. It's been a lot of organization, team meetings, talent meetings. So I didn't have the time or energy to do it. But I also have put deep astrology where I can be my fullest form and show everything that I want, not only with the charts, but be my full self on High Vibe. So it's just, that's where it's at. A lot of people are jumping platforms and stuff like that. We've already had the platform built for a long time. And I've been hearing it all over. All the spiritual networks people are trying to make a spiritual network and stuff like that. And I love that I'm seeing that stuff. But, we've been here a long time and we've been doing it. And I've had an app out for over 6 years. So, it takes a long time. And then you can ask Craig. I mean, it takes a long time to even get to where he can deliver the product, deliver you the goods every day, the videos, send notifications on your phone, do all those kind of things. And for a really cheap rate and in a TV studio and not in your bedroom, make sure that you check out highvibe.tv. We have a 7-day free trial. And honestly, we give you the rates that are so cheap. I mean, if you do the 6-month plan, it comes out to like $6 something a month. Or we do have a $10.99 plan with a 7-day free trial for the month. So it's a lot of content and a lot of energy for a very cheap rate. And we appreciate you all. Find me on Telegram. Elizabeth, and our moderator in the chat, definitely has been posting it. That's where I'm posting a lot more than on Instagram and on Facebook. I still am posting on there, just not as much. I've cut it down a lot, and I'm chatting more with all of you on Telegram in the group. People are finding me as a person. It's not that. The link is here in the chat, and it will be, if you just look in the chat, on the live chat when you watch this as a recording. We'll put the link to the Telegram in the description box as well, underneath this video. I'd love to see a lot of the subscribers here on YouTube join us over there, because we're having really good and fun talks and astrology talks, and we're all relating to each other. So appreciate you all. Any last words?
Sasquatch aside, in times like these, I think you do need to just find your happiness, whether it is joking about some mythical hairy beast, or whatever it is. It's just those little moments of just happiness with inside the chaos that can kind of just take you away for a minute. I think it's important for everybody to find that and to invite other people into that as well. You know, a lot of people are kind of stuck up and wound and stressed out and not necessarily knowing where they can kind of put their energy. So it's important if you can help somebody out, if you can help a friend out that needs to, you know, release some energy, do it. It's your civic duty as a friend and as a human being.
I love that. And I think it is important for us all to be there for each other. And, you know, it's Aquarian times and we're living in a world that there's an opposition trying to go against the collective right now. And it's not political either. It's a force out there in the world that it takes sides on both parties, which I think we realized in the last week. So I think that we have to realize that this is just a time in our lives where we all as humans need to be human and do the best that we can, not shame each other, and especially in this weird political environment. Like, I think it's so important right now. It doesn't matter what side you were on. We don't know what's going to happen. There's stories on both sides. There's all this stuff. This is a time for us all to get back to being with each other and not even looking at it from a political ground, looking at it from just the basic human need ground. And getting back to realizing we have way more in common than we have in uncommon. I think that's very important right now. So, and that's what builds love anyway. So, thank you all.
The love. Yes, thank you all.
And we'll see you on the next one.